As the Falcons take the field here on homecoming, we welcome you to Elliott Field here in beautiful Fitchburg, Massachusetts, as Fitchburg State University gets ready to take on the Bears of Bridgewater State here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. And Dan, I know this isn't the first game we've done at Elliott Field since the unpleasantness, but goodness, it does feel like a homecoming, doesn't it?
Oh yes, great crowd coming in here today. Tremendous weather today as well. Temperatures in the low 70s, a little breezy. It's going to be nice and comfy today. It's going to be a good day for a football game.
It is a beautiful day for a football game. There are still seats available at Elliott Field, so if you are in Fitchburg, we absolutely encourage you to come on down to Elliott Field, buy a ticket, get some food. There are fantastic festivities here at homecoming. And because it is homecoming, we also welcome many, many members of Fitchburg State University's past. Let's send it over to public address announcer, Dr. Robert Hines.
And Mike Colonna, class of 1979.
Current Falcons Joel Montero, Joe Haskins, and Makondo Ashima. Representing the Bears.
A number of former Falcons on hand here for homecoming. There's a great number of them gathered at about the 10-yard line here at the near side. We had the foresight to set up in the Fitchburg fan section today, Dan.
Yeah, this time we were on the Fitchburg side. And so it's not going to sound like a road game, basically.
Captains are at midfield for the coin toss. The coin is up. And so the Falcons win and defer. They will get the ball to start the second half.
I think he said Bridgewater won the toss.
Did he? Well, dang it. I thought I heard him say Fitchburg State. Very well then, the Fitchburg State offense will take the field first. We will see them momentarily, but first we will step aside for the national anthem. It's Fitchburg State University football. It's homecoming right here on FATV.
Fans, I'd like to direct your attention to the west end zone, where Fitchburg State's legends of the gridiron have gathered to help celebrate homecoming weekend. Thank you, gentlemen, for your presence today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand if you are able, as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Performing the national anthem today is junior nursing major Aubrey Harris.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
It is homecoming here at Elliott Field as we get ready for Fitchburg State University football on FATV. John Grugerty joined, of course, by Dan Bullock. And Dan, the Falcons come in with a record of 0-4 as they get ready to take on the 2-2 Bears of Bridgewater State University.
It's definitely been a challenging start for the Falcons. You know, a very, very young roster that they have, that they've brought to the table. If we look at it, 11 juniors, 8 seniors, 2 grad students on a roster of 85. It's a very young team. In exchange, Bridgewater's pretty balanced, about 20 or so kids in each category, 20 freshmen, 26 sophomores, 21 juniors, 20 seniors, and 5 grad students. Bridgewater 2-2 on the campaign. They're 2-0 in NASCAC play. They beat Plymouth State 27-24 and then came from behind to steal a win at the final seconds against WestCon, 21-17. The Falcons' last game out, 28-0 loss to Maritime. It was much the same that we saw in the Castleton game a few weeks ago. Less than 100 yards of offense. The defense, they had them figured out.
It's been a difficult season, as you said, for Fitchburg State, Dan. Especially, they really have not been able to find the ball, get the ball moving downfield through the air. Even last week in the 28-0 defeat to Maritime, they threw the ball only 4 times. Of course, part of that is that Joe Haskins was sacked a number of times. But still, if you're only attempting 4 passes, it becomes difficult to have a 2-dimensional offense.
It's one of those challenges that Maritime was able to overwhelm the Falcons' O-line, and the Falcons setting up in their flex bone offense. They just haven't had the time to make any passes.
Bridgewater State will kick off left to right in the white and red. Kick is away as we get underway, and that kick is going to bounce at the 20. Thought for a second it might go out of bounds. That's a live ball. I think the Falcons fell on it. Bridgewater is indicating they haven't, and they do. The Bears recover the opening kickoff. Dan, what were the Falcons doing? They just kind of let the ball bounce there. I think they thought it was going to go out of bounds.
The wind was very unkind. It took a bounce and just died a couple of yards away from the sideline. If it goes out of bounds, the Falcons get the ball at the 35-yard line. But instead, the Bears are going to start both halves with the football.
Take a look at it again here. It bounces at the 22 and just dies. And as you said, Dan, the wind is blowing pretty much directly in our faces. Blew that ball back. Bridgewater State falls on it. They have fantastic field position. They'll start the game with their offense on the field. 1st and 10 at the Falcon 22-yard line.
I thought Palisade might have been able to haul that one in, but it must have been ripped out of his hands in the scrum.
Officials asking for the game clock to be moved a little bit, so they'll put it at 14:57. 3 seconds gone by. Fitchburg State was going to get the ball to start, but they didn't even touch it. Bridgewater State instead will have it. An incredible, it's hard to say an incredible swing of momentum, but I'm baffled, Dan. It's such an incredible way to start a game, and it's got to be so frustrating if you're Fitchburg State. You're 0-4, you're coming in, and your thought process is, okay, let's get the offense on the field, let's get the ball moving, let's establish something, and then you have to adjust immediately to your defense being pinched deep in your own territory.
Yeah, they don't even get the chance to set the tone at the start of this game, and now we'll see what James Cahoon can do at quarterback for the Bears.
What he can do is hand it off to the left side. This is Adam Couch, the ball carrier. Tries to turn the corner to the left side, doesn't get too much. I think he's across the 20, not much further than that.
They'll give him 2 yards, and Adam Couch, a familiar name to those in this area. He's from Winchendon, however, he went to high school in Leominster.
Couple of Blue Devils on this Bridgewater State team. We'll see Justice Tyler Reynolds at some point as well. Now 2nd down and 8 for Bridgewater from the 20-yard line. Cahoon from the shotgun, back to pass, looks to his left, throws. That pass is complete. Brought in at about the 14-yard line. That's Jalen Kopecki, the reception, I believe.
Kopecki, he's a sophomore from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. That's his 3rd catch of the season. Mentioning Adam Couch from earlier, coming into this game, 484 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns. He also was the lead running back for Bridgewater last week, 165 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns on 30 carries.
Now 3rd down, and we'll call it 2 for the Bears. Pitch to the far side to Couch. He ducks out of one tackle. A flag is down in the backfield. Couch is across the 10 to the 5-yard line.
Couch the ball carrier.
Initially, we're going to give him a 1st down, but based on the location of that flag, Dan, I think this one's coming back.
Thrown from the far side on the sideline. It looks like it's the vicinity of holding, and the way that the Bears are responding, it's holding.
The initial call is a hold against Bridgewater State. We'll get the referee's final word right about now.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty. On the previous spot. Third down.
Daniel Flores Martinez, guilty of the infraction, stops what would have been a big first down for Bridgewater. They were going to have it 1st and goal at the Falcon 5. Instead, it's 3rd and 12 from the 24. So they're at the 24. They need the 12. It is 3rd and 12. How about that? That's how math works. Cahoon under pressure, throws to the left side, pass is caught, close to the first down, lunging forward. I think he's got it. It's going to depend on the spot. Yes, stop the clock, move the chains. That's a first down, Bridgewater State.
Wyatt Schisler making the catch there. Cross-listed as a quarterback and wide receiver, but he's mainly been doing damage as a wide receiver. That's his 16th catch of the season. Senior from Hanover, was an Indian. They're now the Hawks.
1st and 10 from the 11 for Bridgewater. They go without a huddle. Cahoon from the shotgun. Wants to throw to his right this time. Steps up, avoids the pressure. Got to get rid of it. Throws for the end zone. That pass is caught. Touchdown, Bridgewater State. TJ Hairston the catch. Less than 2 minutes into this one, Fitchburg State was going to get the ball to start the game. Instead, they're already down by a score.
That was just, the worst case scenario there. And for TJ Hairston, a graduate student from Watertown, the high school that our good friend Todd Robbins teaches at, 17th catch of the season and his 2nd touchdown. One of 5 grad students on this roster for Bridgewater State brings in a boatload of experience and then some.
Thomas Fay on to attempt the extra point, and the kickoff of his left foot is good. 13-17 to play in this one. Bridgewater State leads 7-0.
Again, fans, we wish you a happy homecoming weekend.
So that was about as awful of a start that could have been for the Falcons.
Pretty much. It was just a really bad stroke of luck. It did look for all the world like that initial kickoff. The opening kick was going to go out of bounds, and then the wind just blew at the worst possible time, kept the ball on the field. Bridgewater State able to fall on it. And then from there, even faced with 3rd and 12, the Bears really did not look that stymied. And they were able to get into the Falcon end zone when presented with the short field.
Cahoon, the junior quarterback from Buzzards Bay, he leads the MASCAC in passing yards per game through the 4 games of this season. And so we've already seen that he looks fairly poised. Completion percentage of just a shade over 58% coming into today. And we've seen his poise already at work for the Bears.
Bridgewater State will kick off again. This one's a little bit deeper, taken in at about the 14-yard line, brought back straight up the middle across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Ben Palizet gets out there. Pretty good return for him. Fitchburg State will have solid field position, 1st and 10 and about their own 34-yard line.
Palizet has been one of those bright spots for the Falcons on the return game. He's done a very solid job on the returns, and that's helped at least the Falcons get some solid field position at the start of drives, averaging about 20 yards return along a 52.
Falcons will come out in the flex bone. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Deep man in the backfield is Frank Sims. Motion faked, handoff goes, no, Haskins keeps it himself. Option pitch to the near side to Palizet. He turns the corner, he's across midfield, and finally spun out of bounds at about the Bridgewater 48-yard line. Dan, you mentioned Ben Palizet being a big part of the Fitchburg offense in the return game. Here he is as a ball carrier. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that.
Palizet had 22 yards on 7 carries coming into today, but that's something I want to see out of the Falcons. I want to see more misdirection. After 4 games, you'd think, the book is out on them, how they run their flex bone. I need to see them start to do different things, try different plays, try different looks.
I don't think we saw that option pitch from Haskins in the Castleton game at all.
No, I don't recall seeing that either. There have been a couple of plays I know during the Maritime game where they would have the delayed pitch or even the pitch to the pitch, but
if they're not going to throw the ball downfield, they need to mix it up just in the way they distribute it on the ground. And just alternating between off tackle left and off tackle right is not going to do it.
I think, we all thought that ball was going to Frank Sims to start. That just seems like the traditional way to start a drive. But not so, say the Falcons.
This one goes to Sims, and this time he is swallowed up immediately. Sims going straight into the heart of the Bridgewater defense, gets absolutely nothing. He ran into Brian Campagna and Anton Vasquez, and they just shoved him back.
combined for the Bridgewater.
One of the interesting things about running the flex bone with Sims only 3 yards in the backfield is that even if he gets stuffed, he gets a yard or two usually. It's hard to hold a guy to negative yardage unless you've absolutely overwhelmed the line.
Sims a little bit further forward than your typical tailback, lined up more in the fullback position. This time Haskins will keep it, trying to go off to the left side. And he's got a few yards. He's across the 45 to about the 43. Haskins is by no means a burner, Dan. I mean, folks who have been watching Fitchburg State football for a while will recall the days of Jeremy Kimber. Or, he's no Jeremy Kimber. He's not even really a Garrett Delicky with the legs, but he is athletic enough to where he presents that bit of a running threat if the Falcons can design the plays well enough.
Indeed, he was originally listed as a wide receiver when he started at Fitchburg State, so he's got the ability.
Now they run the option again, and this time it is blown up. They tried to overload the right side, and Bridgewater State just fished it out. Haskins had nowhere to go with it. He tried to pitch it off to Tiago Palma, and Palma was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a couple. Fitchburg State got that one big play from Palizé, but Alves came in and broke this one up.
And you see that delayed pitch there, but Alves reading it perfectly, the junior from East Providence, Rhode Island. Just sticking right with that and sending Tiago Palma to the ground. Palma, one of the dozen or so returners for the Falcons.
Haskins will kick it away. Bouncing punt. It's going to be close to the goal line, and it will roll into the end zone for a touchback. Very nearly down to deep in Bear territory, but instead it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
And that was another example of the wind being uncooperative at bad times, because we had a wind gust going to that side of the field right at that moment to help blow the ball over the goal line. So yeah, it's a little breezier today than it has been in the last couple of games, and as you can see, the wind is tremendously unkind to the green and gold right now.
Thus far, Mother Nature is biased, and she prefers Bears to Falcons, the more you know. You'd think she would be neutral. This is an animal matchup. Just let the Bears and the Falcons figure it out among themselves, but no. First and 10 Bridgewater from their own 20-yard line. Cahoon throws over the middle. That pass is caught. Spun down across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Ryan Ferry of the catch.
Ferry, a senior, he's from Bridgewater. After imagine, relation there to the head coach of this Bears side, Joe Varia, 34th year with the Bears football team, 6th as head coach.
You would think. That does make sense. Second down handoff goes to Couch. He's got the first down and more. Spun out of bounds about the 36-yard line.
Close to 10 in first down yardage.
Give him about 9 or 10 yards and a Bridgewater first down.
Guzman again with the hit to the foul.
And Couch, a junior, has been looking pretty solid now, getting himself probably close to, if not over, the 500 yards of offense this season in game number 5 for the red and white. And you have to think Couch is probably looking to have a really good game, in the home of his old high school rival.
This time they try the jet sweep to the near side for Varia. Not much doing there for him. Falcons had that side overloaded pretty quickly. I think they're going to give him maybe a yard. Yeah, give him one. It'll be second down and 9.
Had to hit for the Falcons. Second and 9.
You hear that guy who's keeping live stats? Second and 9. You're not actually keeping live stats. You're just watching the live stats.
Yeah, this time I don't have to keep them myself.
Doesn't that feel nice?
Yeah, it makes it so much easier.
Second down and 9 for Bridgewater. I think they've run every play out of the shotgun so far. This time it's a handoff to Couch to the right side. And once again, he gets absolutely nothing. They've tried that right side twice in a row, and they get absolutely nothing with it. This time it's Makandu Ashima breaking it up.
Ashima and Brown combined for the
Makandu Ashima.
Yep, Makandu Ashima, the senior from Worcester, and Mike Brown, sophomore from San Antonio, Texas. Brown has acquitted himself quite well to the college game, a team leading 32 tackles in the 4 games that he's played. And Ashima, of course, the senior leader on this Falcon defense.
3rd and 6 for Bridgewater. Under pressure is Cahoon. There's a flag down. Cahoon goes down. I believe the flag came out before Cahoon went down, so it shouldn't be a tackling foul or anything. It is a hold against Bridgewater. So I believe the Falcons will take the result of the play, and that'll lead to a punt. Fitchburg's defense gets the stand they needed. Bridgewater will kick it away.
Tremendously positive results.
74. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So Daniel Flores-Martinez dinged for the second time today, but it is irrelevant because the Falcons had that read so well. Look at Cam Monette is very badly being held there. That is terribly illegal. You can't just grab the jersey from the front like that.
No, you absolutely cannot do that. Bridgewater is looking like they might maybe think about fake this one, but instead the kick is away, bounces at the 20, and is brought down at about the 23-yard line. Thomas Fay was getting a little bit feisty there in the backfield, Dan. I think that was a little bit more than just the Aussie-style rollout punt. That was a guy who was looking to see if maybe he could take off with it.
If he was thinking about it, but there was a lot of yards to get on that. It was going to be a tough ask, but, get himself as close as he can to the line of scrimmage. He's averaging 37.7 yards a punt, and that probably helps a lot if you're getting the kickoff from the line of scrimmage as opposed to taking it from 10 to 15 yards back.
Falcon offense back on the field, 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Haskins got the jump and didn't get the snap, so Fitchburg turns down the chance at 5 free yards. If this was high school, they would have blown it dead, but it's not. Now motion to the near side. It's a pitch for Palizé, and he is blown up in the backfield. Absolutely nothing he could do. Dan Cataldo had that one read all the way.
Cataldo now with 4.5 tackles for a loss this season. And, that was, I think, the play that the Falcons ran on the first play from scrimmage last time. Try to go back to it again, and no chance.
This time they didn't even fake the handoff to Sims. They just did a straight pitch for Palizé, but Cataldo came right up the gut, untouched, and he blew that up for a loss of about 8. Now on 2nd down, it's a handoff straight up the middle for Sims. He's going to get close to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 6 on what's essentially a fullback dive up the middle is a pretty good result. But on 2nd down and 18, even that leaves something to be desired.
Bears might have been playing a little more passively, just trying to read the pass a little more, expecting that just in case they try to go for a bigger play with so many yards to gain there. But it does give Sims 6 more yards on there. Makes it a little more manageable, 12 to go.
Play action fake. Haskins wants to throw to the left side. Pass is high and incomplete. It went through the arms of Tiago Palma. Was a pretty high ball, Dan, but I think that was a catchable pass.
Oh, yes, it was absolutely catchable, and Palma is going to be frustrated with himself. He knows he should have had that. That was going to be a 1st down for sure if he had been able to haul that one in, but instead it forces another 3 and out, and the Bears will be getting the ball with very good field position.
We've talked about the struggles that Fitchburg State has had in the passing game. That was one of the better throws we've seen from Joe Haskins. Was, as I said, a little bit high, but a catchable ball. Palma couldn't bring it down. Now on 4th down, Haskins gets his kick away. It bounces at the 45, takes a Falcon bounce and roll, and it'll be dead about just inside the 40, call it the 38-yard line.
Well, Wolakali will go and collect that one. The wind at least helpful there because it wasn't going to blow it into the end zone, and really if it had that time, I think the Falcons would have taken it.
Folks, we want to let you know that in addition to our live streams on the internet, you can now watch FATV programming in stunning high definition on your Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV, or through our apps in the Android and Apple app stores. Download our free app today to learn more on how to watch FATV programming. Go to fatv.org/watch-FATV.
Homecoming challenge.
1st and 10, Bridgewater State at their own 38-yard line. Cahoon pumps, goes long to the left side, got a step, but the pass is overthrown. Was intended for Kyle Torres. They run the pump and go almost to perfection. Torres turned on the jets and beat his man, but I think he may have overran the ball.
Looked like the ball may have landed far enough out of bounds. I'm not sure he was going to be able to ever pull that one in. It was just, it landed behind the head linesman, didn't it? Or the,
yeah, it definitely did. That might have just been too high.
But
is that the first incompletion for Bridgewater State today?
I think so. Yes, it was after 4 completions.
This is number 5 as the pass goes to the far side. Catch is made there by Jalen Kopecki. Second catch for him. It's a gain of about, we'll call it 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. So this time Kopecki comes from that right tight end position in motion. And they just send him out to the flat, get it to him. Send him in motion to lose his man, and then get him to him before the defense can adjust. It's a pretty well-designed play. 3rd down and 5 for Bridgewater. This time they go trips to the near side right. And they set up the wide receiver screen. Pass is complete, but not much more than that. That took a long time to get into the hands of Ryan Varia, Dan, and once it did, there was really not much he could do with it.
Yep. Varia wide open to make the catch, but just took a while. I think Cahoon was just, examining his options for a moment, not satisfied with what he saw downfield, goes to Varia on the near side, but not enough time to get anything there. It looks like Devin Current the first to arrive for the green and gold. Falcons now have 2 back to try to pull this in.
Thomas Fay on to kick it away. It's a low punt, bounces at about the 35, rolls into the arms of the Falcon and immediately dragged down. Not much Dominic Medina could do with that. That punt landed at the 35, but Fitchburg State will take over at their own 17, thanks to the roll and the negative return.
One thing I do find kind of funny about that one, the 2 back there were Dominic Medina and Alfred Robinson. And what positions do they play?
I don't know.
Quarterback and quarterback.
Well, how about that? They also play kick returner and kick return.
Wouldn't have expected that.
Falcon offense back on the field, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. We'll give them the 18-yard line. Handoff goes to Sims up the middle, and then once again, that is just absolutely not working. Fitchburg State has had a little bit of success running with that in situations where Bridgewater isn't looking for it, but on 1st down, they just cannot get anything going with this run up the middle.
Try to go up the middle, but you see, where's the space? There's just no space at all. Bridgewater's line working well there to close any possible gaps.
It's a gain of about 1 yard for Sims.
You see how they line up 4 on the line, 3 immediately behind. So you got to get past 7 guys. That's a lot to ask for.
This time it's Diamond Andrew asked to do a whole lot.
No, that's Jazari Salim.
Sorry, had the wrong number. Either way, it's a gain of a few.
Yep, Salim wearing 96, which is a very interesting number for a tailback.
I thought it was 46, which is why I said Diamond Andrew, but no, that's number 96, Jazari Salim, sure.
Freshman running back from Wareham,
3rd and 6.
graduate of Upper Cape Tech, and that's his first career carry.
I'm sorry, Wareham?
Wareham.
That was a joke. Pass to the near side on 3rd down is complete. Gets across the line of scrimmage, but not enough for a 1st down.
Matthew Hire that made the catch.
Matty Aguirre had that reception for the Falcons.
We've talked a number of times about how Fitchburg State has a very young team, and as this season goes on, Dan, they are getting deeper and deeper into this roster sheet, trying to find something that'll get them some kind of positive yardage on offense.
That is one of the challenges. It's just, with such a young team, you don't really know how much everyone has to bring to the table. If there are some players that can succeed in moments on the field, and that's going to be a pretty good punt.
It's a very good punt, taken in at about the 35-yard line. Haskins just rolled out to the right, got rid of it. So the special teams unit is doing their work. And Bridgewater State has moved to the ball in fits and starts, really, but aside from the short drive on their first possession after the opening kickoff, they really have not been able to break through against the Falcon defense. Fitchburg State is at least holding Bridgewater State at bay as the offense tries to figure something out and get back in this one. 1st and 10 Bears at their own 37. High snap for Cahoon, but he gets the handoff away. Couch takes it up the middle. It's across the 40. Brought down at the 41 after a gain of about 4. We'll take a look at this one again.
Yep, and there's the time for Diamond Andrew to make that tackle there for the green and gold.
2nd and 6.
Yep.
Mostly green today. Very little gold. There is some gold. Yes, the Falcons gold, the trim on the pants is gold. the outline of the numbers is gold, but it's mostly green. Second down, 6 for Bridgewater. Pass to the near side is complete. Spins out of one tackle, gets across midfield to the 49-yard line. TJ Hairston makes his second catch. He had the touchdown reception back on their first drive.
Bears 1st and 10 from the Falcon 49.
And so you see Cahoon, he's got the time, sets up throws, and you see Hairston getting himself open, getting himself set up in front of Joel Montero, able to pull it in for the first down and move the chains.
Bears are now in Falcon territory. Varia goes in motion. There's a flag at the snap. Probably an illegal formation against Bridgewater.
Couch was the ball carrier.
The play is a handoff to Couch up the middle. But the headlines person threw the flag pretty much immediately at the snap, typically indicative of a foul on the offense. No, this is offside against Fitchburg State.
It would have been a 6-yard gain otherwise, so I think Bridgewater will take the penalty here.
Thought they might have gotten the Bears for lining up incorrectly, but no, there would have been a Falcon lined up in the neutral zone.
So the referee discussing with Joe Very and the staff how they want to enforce this.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
I thought encroachment was an immediate blow the whistle foul.
It is in the high school game. And we've done 3 high school games already.
What is encroachment? I thought encroachment was you jump over the line and you touch someone, which is an immediate blow the whistle dead ball foul.
I have to double check that one.
Okay. Either way, it's a 5-yard penalty against Fitchburg State. Play action fake, and Cahoon wanted to go deep, but instead he goes down. Nothing at all open downfield. Believe it was Andrew Winningham and Devin Current who combined for the sack.
Current and Winningham share that sack for the Falcons. 2nd and 11.
Dude, that would have been a play that I think wouldn't have been too bad if it was, an actual handoff to Adam Couch. But, he pulls it back. He wants to go for the home run ball after the penalty. And, yeah, Winningham and Current had nobody on them. They'd already gone past their guys.
I mean, it's a pretty good time to go for the home run ball, but if the blocking's not there, the blocking's not there. Now 2nd down and 11. Bears set up the screen, but the pass is deflected and incomplete. A fantastic defensive play by Makondo Ashima.
The flag came in very late on that.
There is a flag down. Ashima Dan did a great job just getting his right arm up, deflecting that pass as it was almost beyond him. But we will check the penalty.
There's no flag on the play.
There is no foul.
All right, so it is just a really good play there. And you can see Cahoon immediately backstepping. Look how many steps he has to take back there.
I mean, he's setting up the screen. He's doing his job as the quarterback. You want to take a deep drop, invite the rush, get them close to you, and then float it over their heads. But Ashima just did a great job of reaching back behind him to deflect that one. Now on 3rd down, Fitchburg throws the heat again. This pass is picked off. Interception on the far side.
That's Rod Bonhomme who's come up with the interception for the green and gold.
Rod Bonhomme makes the pick. Dan, it was 1st and 5 for Bridgewater inside Fitchburg territory, but 3 outstanding plays by their defense. The sack, the deflection, and then on 3rd and long, the pick. Give their offense the ball back.
That was just so greatly played by the defense the last few plays. And, that's just the 2nd interception, the 3rd turnover they forced all season. But still, that was a really good time to have one. And well read there by Bonhomme, the senior. Also does some track and field for the Falcons, making that one stick.
Now Haskins and the offense will come out 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle for Sims. Bounces it out to the outside and gets a couple. Well, let's give him a gain of 3. We're feeling generous.
As I mentioned, that's one of the positives of running the flex bone. I mentioned this earlier, is just the fact that because you're starting not that deep in the backfield, you don't have to get as many yards to get yards, basically. How many yards you have to get back to the line of scrimmage at the very least, it's a lot less of a distance to cover. And so if there's a little bit of a hole there, you can get a good few yards out of it. 3 yards before Steven Silvio wrapped him up.
Now on 2nd down, Haskins wants to keep it himself. That was, well, I'm not saying it was a bad idea, but I am saying it was a bad result. Haskins is wrapped up immediately. I think we can give the credit on that one to Lewis Casey, senior D lineman out of Rockland, Mass.
So it pulls the option there, goes forward. Ultimately, they do give him a yard. Because again, flex bone looks pretty deceiving. If it's a shotgun, you're absolutely losing yardage, but the flex bone can do things like that.
So now 3rd down and 6 for the Falcons. Haskins straight drop under pressure. He'll keep it himself. I think this was a designed quarterback draw, and it's a very well executed one. Joe Haskins is into Bridgewater territory, down to the 35-yard line. That's good for a Fitchburg first down.
They bit hard on the pass there, and the line just opened straight up. There's a huge hole for him to run through.
If you look at Haskins' head, Dan, he is never looking downfield. He is just waiting for that hole to open up. That was a designed quarterback run and a very well executed one. Now pitch to Palizé on the near side, tries to get a convoy going. I think he got across the line of scrimmage, not much more than that. That should be the final play of the first quarter. But Dan, as we get to the end of this first period, Fitchburg State, they trail by a touchdown, but their offense is finally starting to move the ball downfield a little bit.
Yeah, the offense is getting some plays. They're getting some things, some positive results. And the defense, you know, the one touchdown they gave up, they had a very short field they had to contend with. That's a lot to ask. But since then, though, they're starting to look pretty solid. They're starting to dial themselves in. It's a fairly solid first quarter, to say the least, even if you're down a touchdown.
Especially on the defensive side of the football. You have to be really pleased with what your defense was able to do in that first quarter here on College Football Saturday on FATV. While we have a moment here at the end of the first quarter, folks, we want to thank all of the companies who make this and every production possible here on FATV. FATV's remote productions are underwritten by Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, UMass Memorial Health, Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Unitil, Minuteman Press, and the Sentinel and Enterprise. Thank you so much to them.
We'll take the moment to thank our crew working today's game. Jared Roberts is directing. Travis Falk doing audio, graphics, and everything else in the truck. Kevin Newey also on replay. Matt Murdoch, Matt Sinclair, Alyssa Fields, and Kayla Jorgensen are on camera today.
Some new faces running camera today. Always good to see. Welcome to Alyssa and Kayla. Hope to see more of them in the future. And hey, if you want to be part of the fun, fatv.org. Shoot us an email. It's a ton of fun. But now we get ready for the second quarter. Fitchburg's on the march. And here's Dan Bolak with the play-by-play.
30 yards from goal are the Falcons. On second down, it's going to be the handoff to the tailback, and Sims got a couple forward before being thrust backwards by 3 different Bears. It'll be a small game, but it brings up a manageable third down. And although the Falcons are, well, I'm not going to say they're in field goal range yet, but Matt Kimball does have a solid leg.
I was just about to say that despite that, I think this is 4-down territory.
Yes, and I would say so as well. I'm just mentioning it as a possibility, but I would rather the Falcons go for it on fourth down and they don't get it here on third. Get out of that flex bone formation. Palizé in motion. Sims with the handoff. Makes his way to the left side. He's pretty close to the line to gain. Didn't get there, but he's going to be about a yard short. They'll put the nose of the ball right on the 25-yard line.
Pretty much exactly 1 yard to get for Fitchburg here on fourth down. I think the thing that I don't want to see the Falcons do is the dive straight up the middle. It's the only thing I don't want them to do.
Let's see what they'll do. I think they wanted to do the quarterback sneak, but that was a bad snap.
Okay, there are two things I don't want them to do. I didn't want them to do the dive up the middle, and I didn't want them to fumble the snap. I should have mentioned that second part.
Doesn't really matter who got the football in the end, whether Bridgewater recovered it or if. But you can see that snap just never really got to the hands of Haskins.
Turnover on downs for the Falcons. Bears offense back to the field.
He did ultimately recover it. You know, I think if they had the benefit of replay and it mattered that much, they would notice, you know, Haskins had the ball and his knee was down. But, yeah, just can't handle the snap and blows up what was a very doable fourth down, a very manageable opportunity, one of the best scoring chance Fitchburg State has had today. Instead, they turn it over on downs.
Different tailback in the backfield. He'll take the carry on first down, going right up the middle. past the 30-yard line.
It's William Pointer, the ball carrier.
It's the Pointer senior. He's from Milford, a Scarlet Hawk. Had 10 carries coming into today, averaged 4.6 a carry, and he got probably about 4.6 on that one. Plus a yard, we'll say.
4.6 plus a yard.
Brings up 2nd and less than 5. Play action, Cahoon throws right side. Hairston trying to pull that in. That's going to be incomplete. Brown thinking, he came up with the football that maybe he would have gotten that on the deflection, but still well broken up by the Falcons.
Looked like he was going to be able to bring that in, but then he took a big hit. Cahoon has a good amount of time to throw, gets rid of it. Then right there, immediately blown up. Fitchburg State picked it up just in case it was a fumble there, but that was definitely an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Bridgewater.
Again, Pointer in the backfield. Cahoon immediately rolling to the left, looking for someone down the field. That's going to be incomplete, as he wanted to find Kyle Torres on the left sideline, and he couldn't grasp the football.
I mean, he did find Kyle Torres. He just picked the worst place to hit him, right in the hands. It's always a little bit tricky when you call a rollout left with a right-handed quarterback, but Cahoon does a good job setting himself and delivering an accurate, catchable ball. Torres went up, but he wasn't able to bring it down. So once again, Fitchburg State's defense stands tall. They get the 3 and out.
Fay will boot this down the field, and that's just, the wind just gets that rolling and rolling and rolling inside the 10-yard line.
Punt goes out of bounds.
That is a 65-yard punt, all things considered?
Yeah, that will help Thomas Fay's averages. I mean, with the 37.7 coming in, not like he needed the help, but
25.
You could say that Mr. Fay is in a pretty exclusive club when it comes to talented left-footed punters.
indeed he is. A senior from Raynham with a tremendous kick, taking advantage of the wind that once again refuses to cooperate with the Falcons. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Officially, the ball spotted on the 9-yard line.
Here we go, Fitchburg!
See what the Falcons can do on this particular drive. Got to the Bears 25 on the last time out. And not a whole lot of positive there, I would say.
Haskins, the ball carrier. Ross on the play.
Looking through my binoculars, I didn't see anything useful, so.
Albert had the tackle.
I think Haskins realized just a moment too late that he was going to get blown up there. You saw on the replay, just coming pretty much unblocked, is Brendan Albert. Haskins, he pulled up, he wanted to make the pitch, but by the time he realized that he needed to, it was too late. And that's good work by Haskins not forcing it, because that ball could have been turned over. But not a positive play for the Falcons.
On 2nd down, it's a run up the middle. Looking for the tailback in Sims. He'll get a couple on that, maybe get back the yards lost.
Sims, the ball carrier. Gain of about 2.
You know, Dan, we've seen Fitchburg State have a little bit more success here in the early goings of this one than in our previous game here on FATV. But really, they need to have that aerial element eventually, even as part of this flexbone offense, because right now opposing defenses just don't respect the pass.
There's a pass out, but incomplete. Wanted Palizé, but the ball thrown well behind him. And I'm not sure how many yards he would have been able to get even if he had made the catch.
I mean, right there, you know, it's 3rd and 9. It's a very difficult situation. You're throwing the ball to the line of scrimmage. You know, opposing defenses just are not going to, you know, eventually they're going to realize you can put 9, 10, 11 guys in the box until Fitchburg beats them deep. And if the Falcons can't beat them deep, well, then they have to beat them through the run. And you can't beat 11 guys in the box through the run. You just can't do it.
Those are the challenges the Falcons have to deal with this very young roster. Haskins into punt, gets this one off, spiraling in the air. They'll take a friendly bounce at the very least. And the Falcons will shepherd it to the sideline. Bears will have great field position.
This one has turned into a battle of field position. It looked like Fitchburg was maybe going to get the upper hand. They got that 3-and-out, from Bridgewater's offense deep in their own territory, but that huge 65-yard punt really swung the field position. And now for the second time today, Bridgewater takes over in Fitchburg territory. The first time they did, they got their only touchdown of the game.
34 yards from goal are the Bears. Their touchdown drive came 22 yards from goal to start. And Cahoon immediately under pressure, and Logan Perez gets a hand of that football, sends it to the ground.
Second time today, Bridgewater has tried to set up this screen. Once again, Cahoon takes a deep, deep drop. It's pretty much giving it away. And then that ball pretty much just whacks right into Perez.
Probably just wasn't expecting the ball to come to him so quickly. The sophomore from Beaumont, California, the second pass breakup of the season. Cahoon rolls to the right on second down, gets the pass off and complete on the right side. Pulling that in is Wyatt Schisler, and he gets a whole bunch of yardage on that one for a first down.
Close to 15 and a first down.
This time Cahoon rolled out to his right. Just a design quarterback rollout, give him a little bit more time in the pocket.
There's first and 10 from the Fitchburg
Bridgewater has
20.
been a little bit concerned about keeping their quarterback upright.
Throw on the right side is complete to Schisler, blows a tire. Trying to avoid the tackle there from Bonholm.
I think that was a break for Fitchburg that he did, Dan. Schisler was able to stay on his feet and make that cut the way he wanted to. He may have taken this one all the way in. Are they ruling that an incomplete pass?
I guess.
Ruling on the field as that pass was incomplete.
There is also a Falcon hurt.
Can't see who that is.
It's Devin Current.
There it is. So we'll take a look at this pass again. He's making the catch as he loses. That's a pretty ticky-tack call, but I suppose he's making the catch pretty much as he loses his footing, and then once he makes contact with the ground, the ball pops loose.
I think his feet also slipped out of bounds before he lost control of the football, and they may have ruled by that margin he probably didn't have control of the football when he stepped out.
That is also fair.
That's my guess on that. And so a 2nd and 10 it'll be.
The clock is running, which the officials are not going to like. So they wound the clock and then stopped it. Comes to a stop now with 11:05 to play. Dan, the officiating crew has been very present thus far. Not that many flags, but they've been just very present.
On 2nd down throw, left side. That one battled for in the air. And still trying to hold on to that one was Torres. He's able to keep control of it and bring it into the end zone for a touchdown. It's Gary Spears battling with him there. But ultimately, Spears trying to wrestle that ball out of his grasp, and Torres able to keep control of it for his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Wrestling it out of his grasp is a great description, Dan. You see here, Spears initially wanted to swat the ball away from him, and now, even as he's trying to bring him down, he's still trying to drag the ball out. And it's just fantastic work by Torres, keeping his legs churning, going forward, ultimately getting across the goal line.
Extra point is up and good. 10:57 to go, 2nd quarter. It's 14-0 in favor of the Bears.
We want to let you at home know that there is so much to watch on your community access station. You can check out the quality FATV programs such as Barbara and You, Inside Fitchburg, Chess Chat, Forks Over Fitchburg, and Discussing Fitchburg Now. FATV also covers many local events, including Memorial Day ceremonies, graduations, parades, local high school and collegiate sports, like what we're doing right now. Hey, how about that? You can also watch local government meetings and some of the best local election coverage around. Visit FATV.org for schedules, access video on demand on your time, and view our live streams. And hey, don't forget to follow FATV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We do love to hear from you in the community. And, you know, he's on the radio, I'm on the internet. We don't have to say anything more about that.
Ball blows Ball blown off the tee there. Will be reset by the Bears.
For a second, I thought you were describing how this season has gone so far.
Shane Drake does the kickoffs for Bridgewater, sophomore kicker from Franklin. He's also attempted some extra points, doesn't have the consistency to do it regularly. I think this is the first time Bridgewater's kicked it with the wind at their backs. It'll be brought in by Jordan Dickerson, who's going to get a fairly good run back out of that. Gets it past the 25-yard line, and we'll see what that flag adds or subtracts.
Methinks it's going to be 15 one way or another. Flags that late after the play usually aren't 5-yard infractions. Well, they're conferring with Fitchburg, which tells me this may be against Bridgewater.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the receiving team, number 60. 15, correction, number 6. 15 yards from the succeeding spot. First down.
You know, I should really stop speculating.
Unsportsmanlike conduct in the game.
Dominic Medina guilty of the unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll take a look at it again, see if we can figure out exactly where this all went wrong for him. Flag came in pretty long after the play was already dead. Yeah, it's just off the left side here. You can see the headlines person throwing the flag, but that's about it. So it negates what would have been pretty solid field position for Fitchburg State. They're going to take over inside their own 20-yard line now.
Chain crew just waiting for instructions.
Falcons first and 10 from their own 14.
And so from the 14-yard line, they will start. Number 14 will take the snap for the Falcons as Aguirre goes in motion, tries to draw the Bears off. I've yet to see a flag pulled on that misdirection when they've tried to run that. And so a little bit of misdirection on the handoff as they go to Palizé, who doesn't get a whole lot.
It's always, well, this week it's a little bit difficult for us when they're on the left side of the field, just because we've positioned ourselves outside on the right side. You know, basically the situation is if we're in the press box, we're going to have our masks on, which is the correct call. But it also means that we're going to be talking like this for an entire football game, and nobody wants to hear that. So instead, we're outside.
Now Haskins rolling out right side, getting to the flank, just going to try to run with it at that point.
Haskins run out
And
of
it'll be
bounds.
forced out of bounds.
By Luca Smith.
They'll bring up third down is what we can say. And the other thing, too, is like if we're in the press box, we're also crammed in there like sardines. Not a great look at this point of the year.
That is true. It is warm. We are sweaty people. I am a gigantic person. You know.
3rd and 11.
Funny part is I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking if we were in the press box in our normal spots, I probably wouldn't be able to see that part of the field anyway.
That's true because you would be crammed up against the wall.
So this is, in all honesty, better than the alternative. Third down. Haskins wants to pass. Does he have the time to pass? He's rolling to the left side. He does get the pass off, but just throwing it away at that point. As Tim O'Neill was the closest Falcon to the ball, but closest is a relative term. There were 3 Bears even closer.
4th down.
O'Neill was in the area. Aguirre, I think, was maybe the actual intended receiver. It's hard to tell if this was overthrown for him or if Haskins was just getting rid of it. Now, he wasn't in immediate danger of being hit right there, so maybe he was trying to hit Aguirre, but it's just, as we've said, it's a difficult situation for Fitchburg State. They have functionally a brand new coach, a brand new team almost.
Almost everyone on the O-line is a freshman or a sophomore. Shima will watch that ball and monitor its progress as it rolls to the 45-yard line. Bears will start with it in Falcon territory again with 9:21 to go in the second quarter.
And if you are a follower of omens, a superstitious sort, the first 2 times Bridgewater State has had it in Fitchburg State's territory to start the drive, they have had their only 2 touchdowns. That probably has just more to do with the short field than the magic of the 50-yard line, but hey.
And from 22 and from 34. Add another 12 to it. Let's try from 46. Let's see what we get. Ferry goes out to the right side as the handoff goes to Painter. Found a lot of room on the right side, and he's still on his feet. He'll be taken down well past the marker. Past the 35 and inside there. First down on the first play of the drive.
Don't confuse him with William Bird or William Ring. It's William Pointer getting 13 yards and a Bridgewater first down. William Pinky could not be reached for comment.
Yes, so William Pointer. That's the name that I think I wanted to say instead.
That's fine. I was too busy making my finger joke.
This time he tries to go up the middle, staying on his feet. Still churning. Bears getting the better side of that maul. And they get him down inside the 30-yard line.
About 6.
6 yards gained on second down. On first down, second play of the drive. This will bring up second down.
2nd and 4.
The Bears' ground game has looked fairly solid.
Yeah, they've been moving the ball fairly efficiently. Not like explosive offense, but just solid and consistent.
Now Couch right side. Cuts there as he tries to make his way upfield. Inside the 25-yard line. And past the sticks, a first down, that should be.
I'm trying to think, like, what's the longest play Bridgewater's had? It's probably, it can't be more than 15 yards, can it?
I'm having a look right now, and it looks like the longest they've had is 20, and I believe that was the touchdown, actually. The second touchdown from Kyle Torres was 20 yards. That was the longest play of the day for the Bears. On first down, they try to bring it up the middle. Not a tremendous amount of success there, but it'll get him to the 20. A couple of yards gained.
Current with the Fitchburg hit.
Couch listed as being from Winchendon,
2nd and 8.
home of Murdoch High School. They're the Blue Devils, but he ended up going to a high school that also were the Blue Devils in Leominster.
He just can't get away.
He's finally traded in the blue and white for red and white.
Little does he know, next year Bridgewater State is changing their name to the Blue Devils.
Got to do it for him, you'd think, as Hairston is able to pull that one in on the near sideline and eventually wrestled out of bounds there. Marcus Moss throwing him over the sideline, but that'll be enough for another first down. And the stick crew can take a break.
We talked in the first quarter, Dan, about how Fitchburg State's defense was really standing tall against the Bridgewater offense. They've given up a touchdown on the last possession, and they're almost on the verge of giving up another one here. But really, there's only so much you can do when you're constantly up against your own goal line.
Now this is Couch trying to make his way up the middle. Getting ever closer to the goal line. He's inside the 5.
Take a look at it again. And Bridgewater is going with a very, like, modern conventional offense, if that makes sense. You know, they run every play from the shotgun. They have 3 wide receivers, a single back, the tight end, and the quarterback. But, you know, Fitchburg State is very much of a throwback these days with the flex bone offense, 2 tight ends, the single back, the 2 wide receivers who were there for set dressing and little more. And, you know, Bridgewater State is, they're not reinventing the wheel or anything. They're just effectively moving the ball, taking what Fitchburg is allowing them to have. And, of course, it's a lot easier when you're taking over at the opponent's 22, at the opponent's 36, at the opponent's, 44, something like that.
They come off to me as a very simple, conventional team. And looking at their numbers, some of the statistics that I've put in here, I don't think Bridgewater ranks inside the top or bottom 25 in anything. They're just, perfectly middle of the road, perfectly adequate. And really, right now, adequate is all they need to move the ball.
They are, if they were from Springfield, a perfectly cromulent football team.
And they're 4 yards away from getting their 3rd touchdown of the contest with 6:16 to go in the first half.
Bears, 2nd and goal.
Will be Pointer in the backfield. Falcons going to try to get a stop here. Pointer finds a lot of space on the right side. And they shan't be stopping him there. Touchdown, Bridgewater.
5-yard touchdown rush, William Pointer.
First touchdown of the season for the former Scarlet Hawk. 20-0, Bridgewater in front.
And again, Dan, it's just so difficult for a defense to always be on the field and to more often than not have the short field. They got a few stops in the the end of the first quarter, the first part of the second quarter, and they were starting to get field position going in their favor. But an excellent punt by Bridgewater State, a turnover on downs, just nothing doing from Fitchburg's offense. Eventually the defense is going to tire out. They can't be asked to get stops on literally every possession from inside their own 50-yard line.
Just making it so much more challenging is that the wind blowing primarily from the right side of the field to the left side of the field means that even if they do get that stop, Bridgewater's got solid punts from Thomas Fay that can pin them very deep.
The Bears literally and figuratively have the wind at their backs.
21-0 Bears. Just do a quick out-of-town scoreboard since we have a moment. Framingham taking down Plymouth State 33-0 today. Framingham will be seeing next week as Plymouth falls to 0-4. Also remaining winless in conference play is Westfield State. They fall to 0-5, losing 16-8 to Mass Maritime. The Buccaneers now 3-1. One other game today is UMass Dartmouth and WestCon. That's a 5 o'clock start. WestCon likes starting at 5 o'clock. And Worcester State's got the day off. And speaking of the wind carrying that ball, we're going to have a touchback.
Not too often you see a kickoff for a touchback here at T3, but hey, it's a strong wind and it's a strong leg too. Shane Drake, he's got a boot on him.
Drake coming into today averaging about 53 yards or so a kickoff. Maximum, of course, 65. So they'll start at the 25-yard line, as they do in college football on touchbacks on kickoffs. We'll see what the Falcons can do. We know the Falcons are going to come out in that flex bone offense. That's essentially what they've committed to. I've yet to see them run any different type of formation, but I think that was a little different, wasn't it?
It did seem a little different. It might just have been our angle. I thought they had a couple extra guys in the backfield than usual. We'll take another look at it here. Maybe just a little bit deeper lineup for that, second tight end who's also possibly a rushing option. But really, Dan, it's been, both of these teams, they have gone from essentially one formation. Bridgewater has gone shotgun, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and a single back. The only difference is where they line up their receivers. Fitchburg has gone flex bone.
Put 2 receivers to the far side here, or on the near side, as a lot of misdirection going on, and Haskins able to take that one and get some good yardage out of that. And I'm now starting to see one other downside of setting up the tent here.
Is the pole in your way?
The spectators going down the stairs there.
Ah, yes.
I saw more of a spectator and less of the ball.
Same.
There's Logan Wilson, who's stepping into the contest now.
Haskins might have been a little shaken up after that carry. Wilson's a sophomore from Woburn.
He's attempted 1 pass this season. That was back in the Dean game. That pass did not find a recipient. That play blown up in the backfield. I can't really give you a better description than that.
I think they wanted to run the option, and Wilson made the decision a little bit too late to get rid of it. Bridgewater came out of that thinking that they wanted the ball. That was not to be. We'll take a look at it again.
The ball did come out, but again, I can't really get a good look what exactly happened. The shaken upness seems to have lasted for more than 1 play, as it's going to be TJ Farr to punt it away for the Falcons. Freshman quarterback, but also backup punter. He's hit as he punts it away, He just did not have any time to get anything good off.
So you've got to think it's an injury with Joe Haskins as the Falcons go with a new quarterback and a new punter in the middle of the drive there. We'll keep an eye out for him. Hope he gets back into this one okay. Bridgewater will take over 1st and 10 once again inside Falcon territory. And if you are a superstitious person, each of the 3 times they've taken over in Fitchburg territory have led to their only 3 touchdowns. It's a good joke, Dad.
This time they're not adding 12 to it. They're starting from the same spot as their last drive. So, play action as Cahoon wants to go. Home run pass. He's got a man wide open. And that one is going to be caught for a touchdown. One play, 46 yards, 27-0. Bridgewater in front.
We were talking about how Bridgewater had a very conventional, conservatively modern offense. They line up from the shotgun, but they really don't take too many chances. They really don't have much trickeration in their game. But one thing you can do every now and then, if you've got a quarterback who has the arm strength, once or twice a quarter, just chuck it downfield and see what happens. This time what happens? It's a one-play drive. Touchdown, Bridgewater State.
So Kyle Torres pulled that one in, had single coverage with Marcus Moss. Extra point up, 3:47 to go, 28-0 Bears. So why take the conventionality and, make your way through, 5-yard rushes and the occasional 15-yard pass. Just go for broke. If you're up by 3 scores, why not?
Yep, it's a wonderful time. How many times, folks at home, you saw the Patriots do it with Tom Brady all over the time. Whenever you get the ball 1st and 10 inside the opponent's territory, just chuck it deep, see what happens. It's a great time to go for the dagger, a great time to try to go up by 4 scores as they do here. And it's worth noting, Dan, Bridgewater's going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter because, after all, Fitchburg was supposed to receive the opening kick. They just kind of, didn't.
Just couldn't get it. And you can see Haskins standing next to Elijah Zaire McKnight. McKnight in not football pants, so not seeing him today. And he was one of those big return men for the Falcons. So it hurts a little bit that he's not fit to play today.
And as Haskins was having that discussion with Zaire McKnight, you saw Haskins just kind of reaching back, grabbing at his midsection. So I think it is, a chest or a rib injury, something like that. No trainers are tending to him right now, but Haskins definitely took a big shot there. We'll see if he gets back out to lead the Fitchburg offense back onto the field.
Drake to kick off for the Bears. Booms this one downfield. And as much as Gary Spears wants to try to do something with that one, he sees it sail over his head, and he wants nothing to do with that. To the 25 it goes, and the Falcons will try again.
Folks, we want to let you know that Fitchburg Access Television is your local access TV station. If you live, work in, go to school, or are a member of a Fitchburg organization, you can become a member of FATV. Membership brings many benefits and gives access to all of FATV's equipment, including cameras, audio and lighting equipment, edit suites, studios, and much more, including our newest edition, the FATV Podcast Suite. We offer technical training classes to teach you how to create your own program. You can also reserve channel time to broadcast your program to the Fitchburg community and beyond. Visit FATV.org for more details and start producing your show today.
It'll be Wilson under center. The man in motion on 1st down. Wilson wants to throw, would really like to throw. He's going to have to run with it instead. Just doesn't find an opening there. He'll be slammed out of bounds.
Logan Wilson.
After a gain of a few.
Brendan Albert had the Bridgewater hit. He's about 5 on the play, 2nd and 5.
Wilson was able to pick up maybe 5 yards there. It's not entirely dissimilar to the situation we've seen with Fitchburg High, Dan. They go with the sophomore quarterback, this time for more of an injury reason, but Wilson brings a little more athleticism to the quarterback position.
Try to go around the left tackle on the run on 2nd down.
Of course, if you're still going You know, if the only question with your offense that the defense has to actually respect is where are they running it, you have a problem. You're still fighting against the wind.
So we go under 3 to go in the first half. It was Jazari Salim who got about 3 or 4. So a very manageable third down here for the Falcons. Just trying to take the opportunity to move the chains. So Wilson barks out signals under center. Out of the flex bone. They try to go back to Salim.
Salim, short gain.
Gets a short gain. It's pretty close to the line to gain.
Tome with the hit.
It'll be good enough.
They will indeed move the chains. First down, Falcons.
That rush was good for a Fitchburg first
And, you know,
down.
it looks like Salim gets wrapped up rather quickly, but, you know, the 35 itself was obviously the line to gain, and he makes sure to put that ball in front of the 35 right on that line, and he knows that he will have the first down if they give him that spot. So looking to pass immediately, Wilson rolls right side. Has a bit of space to work with. Will have to tuck it and run instead. And again, decked from behind as he steps out of bounds, and multiple flags fly.
I think Bridgewater is going to be playing a man short for the rest of this game. That, okay, I will not confess to being the greatest knower of college football rules. If that is not targeting, I do not know what targeting is.
And the fact that it happened too while he's making his way out of bounds, it's a very bad look. Wilson is up on his feet and he is okay, which is a positive.
After the play, personal foul, targeting, number 40. 15 yards from the end of the run. Number 40 is disqualified for the rest of the game.
Steven Sylvia guilty of the infraction. It is indeed targeting. We will see no more of him.
You see as he comes in there, helmet-to-helmet clash at the 40-yard line, and number 40 will be banished to the sidelines. He doesn't have to leave the confines of the playing surface. That's a new rule they put in this year. He doesn't have to go to the locker room, but he can't play in this game anymore.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay, well, here. You can stay right over there.
If you get ejected for anything else, you have to go to the locker room. But targeting they announced for this year, that was a new rule they put in. You can sit on the bench, you can stay with your team, you just, yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's a player safety thing, and that was unsafe. And for Sylvia, he is their best linebacker, essentially, the junior from Dighton. 55 tackles in 4 games, 2 forced fumbles and a recovery. He's done so many things for this Bears offense. Defense. And it will help the Falcons a little bit that they won't have to deal with him anymore, but the Bears still have plenty of other options. Brian Campana is one of them.
They do still indeed have to deal with Brian Campana. Wilson stumbled a little bit, Dan, as he took the snap. Kind of made this a little bit of a little bit more of a difficult play. That's almost English. Now as the clock goes under 90 seconds to play, Fitchburg will try to hurry up. Falcons do still have all 3 of their timeouts.
Second and a lot. Wilson wants to throw immediately. Pass complete. Finds Ben Palizé. Palizé trying to make his way up the near side hash as he gets it across midfield. And Bridgewater wants to stop the clock here.
Palizé had the reception.
So the Bears decide to take timeout. That's their second of the half. Not quite sure when they took one, but that is their second. Ball is spotted at exactly midfield, so it'll be 3rd down and 14.
Falcons need to get to the Bears' 36-yard line for a first down.
Vying for the $500 scholarship.
As it stands 28-0 Bears in front. Falcons with just 4 first downs in this contest.
You may also recognize the contestant. That's all the clues you're getting.
2 of 9 trying to convert on third down today. And 62 total yards of offense compared to the Bears' 195.
3rd and 14.
So again on third down, Aguirre was in motion as Wilson has time, finds Aguirre. He makes the catch, spins out of a tackle, and makes his way to the 41-yard line. Not enough for a first down.
There is a flag back in the area of Wilson where he threw that pass, and Wilson is coming up very lame. It's a roughing the passer call against Bridgewater State. Wilson is injured. I think it's his left leg. Hey, Dan, who's the Falcons' third-string quarterback?
That is something we don't know.
Maybe something we're about to find out.
The Falcons have used 5 quarterbacks in this game, just, 3 of them playing different positions.
Unfortunately, just as the ball was being released, we were following the football there, didn't see the hit, but you can see the aftermath. Wilson having his left leg attended to here on the near side. Back up on his feet now, which is good to see, but he will head to the sideline. So it's going to be a personal foul for a late low hit.
Number 55. Low hit below the knee. 15 yards. We got it to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So 30 yards of penalties on this drive have given Fitchburg State probably their best scoring chance of the game. I believe, is that Joel Montero in it, quarterback? No.
I cannot see who it is. Might be Medina? I think it's Dominic Medina.
It is.
And he's immediately under pressure. He's got to use his wheels to move. And he turns, that could have been trouble immediately. He ends up getting back to the line of scrimmage and a clock stoppage.
Dan, I wasn't going to tell this story on air because it's a story about how great we are and it's a little uncouth to tell it. But I was pulled aside right before our broadcast today by Dominic Medina's mom. And she told us that they always look forward to whenever the Falcons have a home game or whenever any of the Fitchburg teams have a home game because they do so like our broadcast. And that was very nice to hear. So thank you very much for that.
It's always wonderful to hear feedback. And we've got a read for feedback. We've got a contact if you want to email us, as Medina lost his footing as he wanted to try to do something with the football. And I believe the Falcons will call their first time out.
Dan, I wasn't gonna bring up that read because I don't actually have that read. I have other reads. But yes, fatv.org. Let us know how we're doing. We do like to hear from the Fitchburg community. Doesn't have to be positive. If we're doing a bad job, let us know we're doing a bad job. We'll try to do a better job.
And it doesn't even have to be the Fitchburg community. If
That's
you're part
right.
of the Bridgewater community, if you're part of the Florida community, basically, Dominic Medina is a freshman from Miami.
The Florida community?
Yeah. Sure, let's just give him the whole state.
Do we have a running on-screen tally for my weird, obscure wrestling jokes yet? Because that was a weird, obscure wrestling joke. I won't explain it, but...
The problem is if it's too obscure, the truck's not going to recognize that it was obscure.
Well, On my unnamed video game broadcasting service on the internet, which we won't mention by name, I have a drop for whenever I make an obscure wrestling joke that only one person in my chat will get. I need that drop here. Let me bring my stream deck.
So reset here, 42 seconds to go, first half. Falcons, they have not scored since the second quarter of the game against Worcester State. They're trying to break up that stretch of about 8 quarters worth of football without a score. Medina drops to pass on third down, shakes out of one potential hit. He finds a lot of room to work with on the near side, and he's taken out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. This is the deepest that the Falcons have been into Bears territory.
Medina wanted to go deep with that ball, Dan. There was good coverage downfield, but fantastic work by him, seeing the open yardage and then getting a block following his block. He didn't get the first down, but hey, 4th and 3 is a lot better than 4th and 16.
So 19 yards from goal, 3 for a first is what they need.
Falcons trying to get on the board here in the final minute of the second quarter. Again, Bridgewater will get the ball to start the third. So if Fitchburg wants to get within 3 scores, now's the time.
They need to get 3 on this play. Medina quickly dropping back, throws left side. He wants it all. Going to the end zone. Incomplete. He wanted Tim O'Neill.
He was looking for O'Neill. He threw a jump ball in the end zone, but O'Neill was matched up one-on-one with Elijah Smith. O'Neill is 5'8". Smith only listed at 5'9", but on the field, that seemed like a much bigger difference. Usually in a jump ball, the advantage goes to the taller player, and Smith was taller there.
And the way Smith was lined up for that, he was aware it was 4th down. They don't need an interception there. He was going, focusing on the man, but also as he puts his hand out to swat it away, he knows he doesn't have to try to pick that one up, doesn't have to try to catch that one, just needs to make sure it doesn't fall into O'Neill's hands.
Basic defensive coaching. 4th down, knock it down. Don't go for the interception.
Victory formation for the Bears, and they are satisfied to take a 28-0 lead into the half.
And honestly, Dan, I don't see why they wouldn't be. Bridgewater has really controlled this game on every phase. Fitchburg has had a couple of opportunities. They've shown a little bit of life from the offense, a few quick plays out to the near side here, a few, quarterback runs, particularly from, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the man's name, Dominic Medina, I apologize, particularly from Medina as the second quarter came to an end. Fitchburg State's offense has shown potential, but really Bridgewater's has been consistent and efficient. They went for one big play and they hit it. The Bears are just dominating this game right now.
The Bears just showing their mettle there. All 4 of those touchdowns came with them starting with the ball in Fitchburg territory.
I don't know where I was going with that sentence.
But you can see they focused on the 50-yard line. That magic 50, as you've been saying.
Magic 50, that's right. If you are a superstitious person, 4 drives inside the 50, 4 touchdowns, all 4 touchdowns. Something to watch as we get ready for the third quarter here at Elliott Field. But hey, even outside of the football game, it is a wonderful day here at Elliott Field. It is homecoming at Fitchburg State University. There has been a giant inflatable football thing set up in the time since I last looked over there. There is food, there is fun, there is a ton of people here. Come on down to Elliott Field, enjoy the rest of this game, and if you're only going to be sitting at home in Fitchburg, or if you're sitting at home anywhere in this fine world of ours, stick with us. We will have the second half coverage right here on FATV. Homecoming here at Elliott Field sees Fitchburg State trailing Bridgewater 28-0 here on FATV. I'm John Grugerty, joined, of course, by Dan Bolak. And Dan, as we take a look at the halftime statistics, Bridgewater is really controlling this game on pretty much every side of the football right now.
Indeed, so as we mentioned, 28-0. James Cahoon has thrown through the air for 3 touchdowns, finding TJ Hairston for 11, Kyle Torres for 20, and Kyle Torres again for 46 on a home run pass on one play on one drive. Cahoon 11 for 18, 143 yards, the 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. William Pointer, 4 carries, 29 yards for the Bears. Adam Couch, the former Leominster Blue Devils, 7 for 32 on the ground and through the air. As we mentioned, Torres, 2 catches, 66 yards, both touchdowns. Hairston, 3 for 31. White Chisler, 2 for 27. The punting game's been on point. Thomas Fay has a long as 61 and averaging 46, taking advantage of the wind. As for Fitchburg, they've had to use 3 quarterbacks in this game, as Joe Haskins and Logan Wilson have both sustained some injuries, if you will.
And as we take a look at the near sideline as the Falcons are getting ready for this second half, Joe Haskins is not warming up. It looks like it may well indeed be Dominic Medina taking over at the quarterback position for the Falcons. It looks like he and Alfred Robinson are warming up, and Medina has been on the field. Robinson has not. Joe Haskins is on the sideline, but he is not warming up. So it looks like he is not going to be quarterbacking the Falcons as we get ready for the third quarter. But as we get ready for that third quarter, Dan, it will be Bridgewater getting the ball.
Indeed, Falcons had Bridgewater won the toss. They deferred. Falcons were to receive, but a unpredictable bounce and an unfavorable gust of wind kept the ball that was surely going out of bounds inbounds, and Bridgewater was able to recover. 22 yards later, they found their first score of the game, and after a few hiccups to the end of the first quarter, they haven't looked back since. Looking at Fitchburg's stats quickly, Joe Haskins 1 of 4 for 3 yards through the air. Logan Wilson was 2 for 2 for 15 before having to leave with an injury after he was roughed on a pass. Dominic Medina had a pretty good throw to the end zone for Tim O'Neill, but good defense by Bridgewater shut that down. Haskins was 8 for 20 on the ground. Ben Palizet 4 for 20 on the ground. Frank Sims 8 for 13. The receptions for Palizet 2 for 15, and Matthew Aguirre 1 for 3. But it's just been quite the challenge for the green and gold.
It's been 2 or 3 really good plays. Joe Haskins had a 21-yard run. Ben Palizet had an 18-yard gain on, I believe, that 18-yarder was on Fitchburg's very first play from scrimmage. Other than those 2 plays, Dan, it really has been all Bridgewater all the time as Matt Kimball gets ready to kick this one away for the Falcons.
Matt Kimball, he briefly played quarterback at Becker, but he's on the roster as a wide receiver and a kicker. Very good kicker as well. First time we've had a chance to see him today. We've seen, as we've mentioned, we've seen 3 Falcons playing quarterback today. And they're going to go for the onside kick. Why not have a try at it? It's a pretty good look at it, too.
Falcons are saying they have it. They come out of the pile with the football, which is a pretty good indication that they have it, Dan.
So the team kicking off in both halves ended up with the football in the end.
I mean, it was a stroke of luck for Bridgewater in the first half, and here in the second half, as you said, Dan, you're down by 4 scores. Why not try it? Fitchburg State able to get the ball back.
So that worked out tremendously, and you could see, they shepherded the ball to the 45. Might have been Montero who got on top of that one.
Falcons 1st and 10 from their own 45.
But a tremendous development for the green and gold. They will start with the ball in this second half of play, and it's Dominic Medina under center. Medina with the option, holds on to it, but can't really step up to throw, and ultimately 3 Bears teaming up to take him down.
Dan Cataldo.
I think Dan Cataldo was the first Bear there.
Had the hit for Bridgewater.
Brian Campagna and Lewis Casey as well were there. But I think you're going to be giving the vast majority of the credit there to Cataldo. Came into this game with 2.5 sacks. Senior from Wakefield. I know someone who's from Wakefield.
Who's from Wakefield?
He's on our crew today.
Well, now I feel bad. Who's from Wakefield?
Matt Murdoka.
Matt Murdock is from Wakefield. The more you know.
Second and a lot. Kimball's in motion. He's going to take the pitch there, and he's going to get to the far side and get a couple of yards. That was probably not exactly going to plan, but not a negative play to say the least. Trying something a little different there with some very different personnel.
Different personnel indeed. Fitchburg just going deeper and deeper into that roster, trying to find somebody who can do something with the ball when it gets in their hand. Injuries at the quarterback position and just trying whatever you can from the tailbacks, from the receivers. This time Mac Kimball doesn't get much. It's 3rd and probably exactly 20. Yeah, 3rd and 20.
The Falcons, after onside kicking to start this half, trying to keep the momentum going. Medina dropping back to pass, rolling out under pressure. A Bear blows a tire. That gives Medina time to throw down the field, nearly intercepted, as O'Neill was well defended there by Andre Damon.
O'Neill was there, Gabe Mangrum was there. Damond was there for the Bears.
You can see Brendan Albert blowing a tire there. That gave Medina the time to set up and at least get a good throw off. 3 Bears versus 2 Falcons. Nearly an interception. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been a tremendously bad arm punt if it had been picked. TJ Farr will handle the punting duties. As mentioned, he was a quarterback at Monty Tech, listed as a quarterback here, but he can punt as well. And with the wind at his back, that will help a little bit. And that will not help a bit. It is a live ball that can be advanced. And Torian Wise Jr. is going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage. But yeah, that was just, pressure immediately and ultimately slips off the foot of Farr. And Bridgewater will get the ball from the spot of the end of that play.
It looked a little bit, it was a strange formation. They tried to get the punt off on motion and just nothing doing there. It's a live ball, nothing you can do with it from that point.
If Wise had gotten it to the line to gain, it would have been a first down. But at the end of the day, that's a lot to ask for when you were already 20 to go.
Wise is being tended to on the near sideline, incidentally.
Bears on first down will bring it inside the 30-yard line from Adam Couch, still keeping the first-team offense out there. Why wouldn't you?
In 6.
And there is another Falcon down after this play.
Current has a hit for Fitchburg. Timeout on the field.
I believe it's Devin Current again.
He'd already had to be helped off the field earlier in the contest. He was okay. I'm not sure if it is.
Current got the tackle.
I'm looking at it, it looks like it might be a single-digit number.
Well, we will keep an eye on that, see if we can.
Just a reminder on the out-of-town scoreboard while we have a moment. It's actually number 70, so that was Andrew Winningham. But as we mentioned, it was Framingham 33-0 over Plymouth and 16-8 Mass Maritime over Westfield State. So unless the Falcons come back with a tremendous effort in this second half, there will still be 3 winless teams in the MASCAC.
Second and 4.
So Lope Andrew Winningham is all right. Sophomore from Silver Springs, Nevada. They'll just take it up the middle. That will be Couch. Fighting for yardage, gets to the 25-yard line. And it won't be enough for a first, but third and a short one. Perez gets the tackle for the Falcons.
And you got to think this is 4-down territory for Bridgewater. They're not going to kick a field goal in this situation.
Unless they want to give their kickers some practice. None of their kickers have attempted field goals this season.
I suppose that's fair. It would be, what, 42-yarder from here?
Be challenging. Couch just looking for a yard. He'll get 5.
Out.
And as they stop the clock, move the chains, I suppose I should make mention that if you are a superstitious sort, 4 times in this game Bridgewater has taken over in Fitchburg territory, and 4 times they have gotten a touchdown. Those have been their only 4 touchdowns.
There's going to be a point when saying only 4 touchdowns.
Well,
But, we've got to keep the theme going there.
Exactly. That TikTok sound, it's a good joke. Listen, it's a good joke.
Ferry moves in motion as Pointer finds some space up the middle, wrapped up by 4 Falcons, but not before getting about 7 yards. It's like how on Mythbusters they always said that Jamie Hyneman and Adam Savage had over 30 years of special effects experience, even when you could upsell it more and say 40 years, 50 years, 60 years as the show went on, but you just keep it at 30 because that's the phrase we all know and love.
Exactly. By the end of that, the build team combined had 30 years of special effects experience, didn't they?
Felt like it. Adam Couch finds a lot of room and finds a touchdown.
Touchdown, Bridgewater State.
The former Leominster Blue Devil loving the idea of finding the end zone in Fitchburg. And it's 5 touchdowns today for Bridgewater State.
This time it's just fantastic blocking from the Bridgewater line, and then Couch sees the hole on the right side. He hits it hard. He goes in basically untouched. The 5th touchdown of the day for the Bears.
Left-footed Raynham native Thomas Fay puts up his 5th extra point of the season. He has doubled his extra points made on the campaign in just one day. Now 10 for 10. 11-12 to go. Third quarter. It's Bridgewater 35, Fitchburg 0.
And as the team set upfield, we want to thank once again the companies that make this and every remote production possible here on FATV. FATV's remote productions are underwritten by Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, UMass Memorial Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Unitil, Minuteman Press, and the Sentinel and Enterprise.
Couch now up to 11 carries, 460 yards, and the touchdown. Now 6 touchdowns on the campaign, the junior from Winchendon, from Blue Devil Land. And I know I was saying in the truck, I mean, for Fitchburg, I feel like the goal now is just to try to take this one series at a time.
Yeah, you have to put the score out of your head, especially on the offensive side of the ball. It's about making progress. It's about building on what you have before you can worry about, trying to make a 5-touchdown historic, incredible comeback against a team that is pretty clearly better than you. Let's take it one step at a time here, see what the offense can do with the ball here.
With the wind against them, that'll be handled in by Palizé around the 6-yard line. He'll bring it up to the 25. And from the 26, that's where the Falcons will start on this drive.
And really, Dan, I have liked what I've seen from Fitchburg in fits and starts with Dominic Medina under center these last 2 series. He brings a little bit more in terms of, speed and athleticism to the quarterback position. It gives the Falcons a little bit more of a chance to get creative with their play calling, maybe run that option a little bit more. At some point, though, I think they have to work in another formation. They can't just go out of this flex bone. It's a very limiting set if you're not running it very effectively, and Fitchburg isn't running it very effectively right now.
They will stick with it for now. As Sims gets the handoff, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more than that.
And, that's not an adjustment that you're going to make in-game. If you've never gone from the shotgun all year, if you don't have shotgun plays in your playbook, you're not going to, draw something up in the dirt and say, hey, go shotgun, right? But it's something that I think the Falcons need to work on between games as the season goes on. Just add another element to their offense. If you're always lining up under center, if you're always going to be, either a play fake or a handoff up the middle or maybe occasionally a deep drop from under center, that's just not the way the ball is moved these days. Defenses can stop this.
Aguirre in motion, and Medina keeps it himself immediately under pressure. Does find a little bit of space on the near side, but it's going to be just back to the line of scrimmage again. Maybe a gain of a yard.
Medina did a very good job on that play, Dan. A couple of different times it looked like he was in a lot of trouble in the backfield, but he was able to make a defender miss. We'll take a look at it again here. This is ultimately only going to be a 1 or 2 yard gain, but you see right there, he makes a man miss, he jumps back. Right there, he's, steered out of bounds after a gain of a couple. It's not much, but it's something, and it's a lot more than it could have been, given how badly that play looked right from the moment of the snap.
That's been one of the challenges with this very young offensive line, is the Falcons haven't really had the chance to, they just get so overwhelmed at times. But that's not really the fault of the players themselves, it's just a fact that you see Medina immediately under pressure, immediately scrambling out to the far side, does get a few more yards as he finds his way into the Bears bench, but he never has the chance to pass there. He takes the ball and he's got to be tucking and running. After taking just 2 steps, he doesn't have a chance to pass the football because the line is already broken down.
This play was kind of reminiscent of the play where Logan Wilson took a big hit. That was the play that saw Steven Sylvia gently asked to remove himself from the premises, shall we say. But this time the Bridgewater defender, Cody Sautome, was able to just steer Medina out of bounds.
And we'll see if the Falcons can get a better punt this time. Will be Farr. He's going to actually tuck and run with it. DJ Farr gets to the 35-yard line. He's pretty close to the marker. He got the first down.
The ball carrier
We've called it a number of times this season, Dan, back with Joe Haskins in the game when the starting quarterback is your punter. But the way Fitchburg runs this punting formation, they have the chance on pretty much any punt. If the punter sees a hole, if he thinks it's there, take it and run with it. Again, you're down by 5 scores. Why not try something? They tried this and it worked.
TJ Farr, he was a quarterback at Monty Tech, and he was a fairly mobile quarterback as well. So he of course had the ability to run with it. And we've seen them always lining up with a punter in the backfield to try to kick that one away, so who had that quarterback experience, who has those wheels. That time we've actually seen them fake it out. Frank Sims finds an opening on the left side, pulls over a man, and gets it to midfield.
It's the first time today that Frank Sims has been able to really break a big gain out of that flex bone formation. You see, they send the man in motion, which they've been doing plenty of times. Bridgewater brings the run blitz, and this time Brendan Albert just overran the ball. He had Sims dead to rights, he just ran the wrong way. Sims was able to hit the vacated hole, pick up a big gain.
It's a 12-yard gain for Sims. His longest before that today was 3. Now the Falcons are making progress down the field. Again, trying to break this scoring drought, as that one's a dead duck. It's bounced incomplete.
Pass was tipped as it was thrown.
Medina's pass is incomplete.
We'll take a look at it again.
So just under pressure, gets the pass off, but floated up there, and James Fontaine nearly able to haul that in.
Was Nicholas Canales who got his hand on that. That's what you're trained to do as a defensive lineman. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. Canales did good work there.
2nd and 10, Aguirre in motion. Medina taking it himself. Steps backwards, forwards in a sense, and gets a yard or two, but I think he may have wanted to make that handoff there to Aguirre, but there was nothing positive that could have come from that, so Medina makes the decision. You can see, too, how quickly Nicholas Canales had breached the line there. Medina had just gotten the ball, and Canales nearly knocked him down.
Medina, I think, wanted to get rid of that on the option pitch, ultimately decided to keep it himself. But with the way he was positioned, as you said, Dan, he was moving backwards but going forwards, which is always weird when that happens.
Now 3rd down, dropping back, quick throw over the middle. That's going to be hauled in by Jordan Dickerson for a 1st down.
Jordan Dickerson had that reception, good for 1st down yardage.
Medina just with the straight drop on 3rd and long. Bridgewater's bringing the house, but the line holds up just enough for Medina to stand up in the pocket, deliver the ball. It's not fancy, it's not a home run, but it is a Fitchburg 1st down.
4th catch of the season for the sophomore from Dorchester, Jordan Dickerson.
And really, Dan, those are the kind of plays that Fitchburg is going to need to prove that they can hit on a consistent basis to loosen up enemy defenses. If they bring the heat, you've got to punish them for it, even if it's just for 10 yards at a time.
1st down, Sims trying to make his way outside the left side of the line. Stumbled and knocked to the ground after a gain of a couple.
As it is right now, Dan, defenses, like Bridgewater, we saw it with Castleton earlier. Lots of defenses can just bring the house, bring the run blitz, try to blow the play up either in the backfield or right away. If the Falcons can find that passing game, it doesn't have to be a deep threat. You don't have to be hitting, inch-perfect 40-yard bombs. But if you can punish defenses for bringing the house, get them to loosen up a little bit, that opens up the running game.
Salim in the backfield now. Palazé and Aguirre as the slot backs. And off goes to the 35-yard line.
It is still weird to see number 96 getting carries. Like we've seen, NFL teams will do trick plays with number 96, but it's their, 380-pound defensive tackle from the 1-yard line. It's not just, a running back wearing number 96.
5'11", 190. I remember years ago when the Falcons played in the Whitelaw Bowl, they played Alfred, and the Saxons got a 2-point conversion on a pass out to the right side for Mike O'Brien, who was wearing 90 and was listed as a receiver. And you just don't think of 90 as a receiver number either. Nope. As here's Medina with a little bit of time, sees a bit of room, tries to go for it, it closes up quickly. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it brings up 4th down.
I think that's basically a, not quite a sack, but essentially the same as a coverage sack for Bridgewater. Medina wants to throw this ball. He's looking to his left, looking there, nothing there. He finally decides to keep it and run with it. He's not able to get much.
So obviously they'll go for it on 4th down. We've already seen them onside kick in this 3rd quarter. We've seen them fake a punt and get a 1st down. I don't know what the Falcons have for any form of trickeration on 4th down, but they do need to find some yardage here for another 1st to keep the play moving. Medina still just trying to stay on his feet. And he's not going to be able to make anything of it. There just wasn't anywhere to go in terms of receiving options. And thus this promising drive comes to an end.
You saw him desperately scrambling around, trying to find something, anything downfield, any way to extend this play. He steps up here probably thinking maybe he can run with it, still looking downfield, still trying to find something. Maybe at some point you have to just throw it because it is 4th down, but Medina did everything he could to try to find something open, just couldn't find anybody. Good coverage by Bridgewater State.
Just no receiving options anywhere downfield. But for the first time in a while, the Bears are starting with the ball in their own side of the field. Adam Couch gains 5 on 1st down on a run up the middle.
And hey, if you're a superstitious sort, they haven't scored when they've had the ball on their side of the 50-yard line. Maybe the 50-yard line is magic. Have we considered that the 50-yard line is magic?
So, quick stoppage. It's one of the Falcons slow to get up.
Can't really see who that is. Looks like it's Rod Bonhomme. Called his number a few times. I believe he had the interception.
He did have the interception.
So he will head to the sideline for treatment. Looks like he's favoring his left side, maybe his left leg.
This game has not had turnovers, just 2 officially.
Plenty of injuries, though.
Yeah, far too many injuries, and we've had an ejection too. Technically a disqualification, as Couch will bring the ball to midfield.
Now, football doesn't do ejections. They do disqualifications.
That's the official terminology. 1st down for the Bears.
It's no wonder I make wrestling jokes when I'm calling football. Now, granted, I make wrestling jokes when I'm calling hockey and basketball, too, and soccer.
Bridgewater likes to call plays using whiteboards and writing stuff on them, and now I can see the people with the whiteboards wiping them off as they get it ready for the next plays. Cahoon throws over the middle to the near side, excuse me. He wanted Hairston. That was a similar look to that home run pass from in the 1st half. That was touchdown number 4 for Bridgewater, but that time it was too far even for Hairston.
Yeah, it's just a simple streak to the receiver, this time on the near side, but both times it's the quarterback's right side, the arm side. Probably a bit of an easier throw for Cahoon. This time it was just a little bit overthrown. I think this, we might be getting to the point where this could be the last series for the offensive starters for Bridgewater State, but we'll see.
As it stands, Cahoon hands off to Couch. That palindromic backfield, 12 and 21. And Couch gets a healthy 6-yard gain on 2nd down.
And the beauty of both of them being 2-digit numbers is it's palindromic no matter which one lines up in which position.
They line up in one way, you get 12-21. If you line up the other way, you get 21-12, and that's a Rush song. And an album. 1976. 3rd and 4. Cahoon looking to pass all day. Near side, that's going to be caught. Falcons wanted to stop, not going to be able to get it with that. Is that one pulled in by Jalen Kopecky.
Fitchburg State brought plenty of pressure there trying to get to Cahoon, but they let Kopecky get out of the backfield, find a little bit of space. He was wide open as he made this catch. Protection's good. Cahoon is able to stand in the pocket, deliver the pass. It's a little bit high, but Kopecky's able to go up and get it, and you see there's just nobody around him as he's making that catch.
Only person who could have beaten Kopecky on that play was himself. Now different tailback in here on first down as he bounces out to the near side, past the 20-yard line. It's Gian Yelzine Tucker.
Yelzine Tucker, the ball carrier.
Sophomore from Boston, graduate of Catholic Memorial.
Very powerful team out there in Eastern Mass.
First down yardage on the play. There's 1st and 10 from the Fitchburg 19.
Came in today with just 3 carries for 8 yards. He got way more than 8 yards that time. He'll take another carry this time, but get wrapped up by Logan Perez at the line.
Yelzine Tucker, the ball carrier.
He got up pretty much as soon as he was tackled, Dan. He got up and kept plunging forward. I don't know if he thought maybe his knee wasn't down or...
Well, the officials feel that he had a part of the body down enough to the point where he wasn't going to be able to continue that play legally. I saw Bonholm back into the game as well. Just in the vicinity of that one. Couch checks back in as the running back to the right of Cahoon. Couch will be a blocking option there as Cahoon finds time to throw to the near side, but far too low and rushed to get to the reach of Kyle Torres.
Mike Brown applying pressure that time. Cahoon had to get rid of that one pretty much right when he did. He took a big hit. Would have been a sack if he waited any longer. Cahoon's pass was not the prettiest one he's thrown. It fell incomplete. Now Bridgewater State faces 3rd down.
13 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Guess who's not getting a home touchdown this week?
Hey, you know, it could be a pick 6.
That'd be nice. I'd love them to make me eat my words. Ferry had his hands on the ball, but knocked down incomplete as Torian Wise got there and dislodged the ball from his hands. There is a penalty, though.
The initial indication is that it is a hold against Bridgewater State. Let's take a look at the spear delivered here by Torian Wise. He just lowers his shoulder, drives him down. That's not quite a Goldberg level spear, but that's a solid Christian Cage spear. That's a very good spear by Torian Wise.
Holding. Offense, number 73. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
See, the difference is, like, the Christian Cage spear is a perfectly executed technical masterpiece of a spear. You lay the guy down nice and gentle, but it still looks violent. It's wonderful. The Goldberg spear is you just run through the guy and whatever happens to him, happens to him. That was a Christian Cage spear.
18 yards from goal, 35 yards they feel is a bit too far for Fay or Drake. And so they'll have a go at getting 10. Could be the last play of this 3rd quarter. Cahoon throws left side. Hairston's caught it, but he is in bounds.
He definitely caught it. The question was, were his feet in bounds? I think he did get one, and that's the call on the field. The official is right there. I think we'll take a look at it again here. Remember, of course, you only need to get 1 foot down. And we can't see anything. I think the left is definitely out, but we didn't see the right. The right foot must have been in bounds. They will take the long march down to the other end zone where Bridgewater State will have 1st and goal to begin the 4th quarter.
It's been a long drive, it feels, for this Falcon defense. Just not able to get those 3rd down stops. Yes, 3-quarter time at Elliott Field. It's 35 for Bridgewater, nothing for Fitchburg.
Oh, you can say it. Historic Elliott Field. Come on. It's historic.
It's historic in a sense.
Sure. One day there will be an Elliott Field Restoration Committee that needs your help. One day. We want to thank our fantastic crew who are making this production possible. Our director today is Jared Roberts. Our audio and graphics engineer, Travis Falk, doing, just about everything, really. Kevin Newey operating replay today. Our camera operators are Matt Murdoka, Matt Sinclair, Alyssa Fields, and Kayla Jorgensen. Thank you so much to them, doing fantastic work. We are getting ready for the fourth quarter here. Bridgewater State about to take over first and goal rather, at the Falcons' 6-yard line. Handoff goes to Couch straight up the middle, bounces it out to the right side.
Adam Couch, there's a flag down.
Flags are down. I think Couch was short, but I think this one's probably coming back.
Couch actually entered the end zone standing up.
Well, never mind.
But it was one of those things where there was a bit of awkwardness to it. There was, I think, a feeling in the air that this wasn't going to count.
We'll wait for the official signal. I believe he indicated it's against Bridgewater.
Illegal motion on the offense. Player turned upfield before the snap. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Can't move upfield at the snap. We are not in Canada. Cannot do that.
We're not indoors in an arena either. In this code of football, we don't do that.
First and goal.
So it backs the Bears up. First and goal from the 11 now. Cahoon still in quarterback. Play fake, looks to his right, throws high for the end zone and very high, incomplete. There are two flags, one from very far away. I think this is going to be a defensive foul against the Falcons, Danny.
It looked like it could be DPI, but where that ball landed, TJ Hairston was not catching that football even if he wasn't interfered with. And if he was catching it, he was going to be at least 3 feet out of bounds. Another This Is Not Canada reference.
Pass interference on the defense, number 20. The penalty occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic, first down.
Well, I didn't think it was catchable, but they'll give it in, so Bridgewater will have 4 shots from 2 yards out.
So that negates the illegal motion penalty and then some. Back to first and goal for the Bears, now at the 2.
And you see on the monitor how far out of bounds that ball landed.
Dan, have you ever seen a goal line shotgun offense? Because that's what this looks like right now. Couch takes it, just looking for a hole, hits the left side, plunges through. He is in. Touchdown Bears. The 50-yard line is not magic. Bridgewater starts the drive in their own territory, and they march all the way downfield into the end zone for their 6th touchdown of the day. 14:41 to play. It is 41-0.
It'll be another touchdown to the account of Adam Couch. So he's got 2 on the day. Again, in the city of his old high school's biggest rival.
Extra point from Fay is up, and it is good. 11 for 11 on the season for Mr. Fay. Having a very solid day for himself, as is just about every Bear. Not quite every Bear. There has been an ejection, but a disqualification, rather.
Yep.
But, you know.
I mean, Steven Sylvia wishes he was having a better day, but he's probably happy with his team's performance, though.
And hey, it's a lovely day. You're out with your friends. Your friends are having fun. They're winning at football. Sure, you got disqualified, and sure, your coach may yell at you, but I think Steven Sylvia would call this a good day.
Look ahead to the games coming up for these two sides. Next week, the Bears will continue to stay on the road, go back to Worcester County. They'll be taking on the Lancers of Worcester State, noontime start at Coughlin Field. Meanwhile, the Falcons will be back at home next week, and they will be taking on the Rams of Framingham State, the defending MASCAC champions, for a 3 o'clock tilt. The Rams now 3-2 on the campaign, and, well, we'll see what the Falcons can do with that one.
Any given Saturday, Dan.
Shane Drake to kick it away for the Bears.
Drake's kick is a good one. Brought in at about the 5. Palizé trying to make something happen. Can't do that. He is brought down by the first guy to get to him. Out to maybe the 24. Robert Marshall gets credit for the tackle there.
Trying to make his way upfield, but Marshall just comes in unblocked with all the momentum in the world.
Yeah, the strategy to have Robert in that position on special teams was really good. I'm a big fan of the Marshall plan. It's 42-0, folks. We got jokes. Well, I got jokes. Danny's got silently nodding and judging me, probably. Timeout called by the Falcons before the play.
So, any vamping material?
I was just looking to see what happened the last time these two teams met here at Elliott Field. It was back in 2019. Fitchburg emerged with a 12-10 victory, scoring their winning touchdown with just 5 seconds left to play. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. That was a good day.
Yeah, that was the last home victory for the Falcons. Yeah, that was one of those good ones. You know, these two teams meeting for the 36th time in football. Bridgewater on their way to their 28th victory over the Falcons in football. Last time the Falcons won against the Bears, 2017, 31-29 here at Elliott Field. The Bears have won the last two. The two teams have split the last 6. And this is the first time since 2012 that these two teams are meeting in October. They've been meeting early in the season the last several years, in September.
I tell you, Dan, it feels a little bit like September. It's unseasonably warm, even for October 1st. It's almost like the climate is changing. Someone should do something about that. 1st and 10 Falcons now from their own 24-yard line. Dominic Medina remains the quarterback. Play fake. Medina wants to keep it himself. He's got a big hole. He turns the corner. Dominic Medina's around the 30-yard line. Pushed out of bounds. Thrown into, what is that, a cave of bears on the far sideline?
Yeah, and I believe he bowled over one of the chain crew, too.
Well, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
At least I wasn't bowled over.
Sure you were.
I was clipped by the helmet of the quarterback.
That's, okay, that's different.
You can see there, everyone's just trying to get out of the way.
Ultimately a good gain, but not enough for a first down. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Falcons. Fitchburg State from that flex bone, as they have been all day. Straight up the middle this time. That is once again Jazari Salim, the ball carrier. He's got a Fitchburg first down.
Got to the 40. Pretty good carry there for the freshman.
Falcon lineman lost his helmet, so he'll check out. Looks like Frank Apoku will get some snaps.
Oh yeah, it was Frank Apoku comes in. Christopher Emsley was the one who came off for the play. As we'd expect, freshman from Toronto, they call him Bacon.
Canadian Bacon, though, so lesser, not quite as good Bacon. 1st and 10 Falcons from their own 40, and we get whistles that kill the play before the snap. And there's a flag down as well. I think maybe the officials weren't happy with that motion.
Ball start. Offense. Number 96. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Salim moves too early there.
They called him for a false start. I don't know. Was he the guy who came in motion, Dan?
I was not paying enough attention, but that's what we have replay for. No, it was Matt Kimball who went in motion. It was Salim who started too early.
So that 5-yard penalty will back the Falcons up. They'll have 1st and 15 now as they try to put some points on the board here in a game that has been over as a contest since the midpoint of the 2nd quarter. Carry straight up the middle, gains a few yards, probably almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Gain of about 4. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 for Fitchburg State.
Salim the ball carrier. Gain of 4.
That was Jazari Salim again. I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
So it's a case of, giving Salim a chance, trying some different personnel in places, some by necessity, some just by trying to see what they can do. And Salim has looked, I think I like him a little more in the backfield than Sims. That's no disrespect to Sims. It's just a matter of, how the plays have been developing.
2nd down and 11 for the Falcons. This time Medina will keep it himself. Cuts up field on the far side. He's across the 45. It's a pretty good run for the quarterback. They'll give him maybe 7 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. I'm noticing, Dan, that Fitchburg State is not coming out like earlier in the game. I had said they had 2 wide receivers basically as just set dressing. Well, they have they're not doing that anymore now. They have everybody bunched up.
Everyone is participating on this formation. Everyone's trying to do things to try to create lanes, to try to just give their runners a chance to get some yards.
3rd down and 4 now, Fitchburg State. Play fake. Medina wants to keep it himself, but he is hit as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Don't think it'll be a loss, but it will be 4th down.
Oh, and Medina's hurt.
And Medina's hurt.
This has been a brutal game for Falcon quarterbacks. We are learning what the depth chart is, and that's not something that I wanted to take away from it.
It's not something you want to learn on the fly. Dominic Medina being tended to pretty much right at midfield. He's already the 3rd string Falcon quarterback. We've seen Haskins go down. We've seen
Logan Wilson get
hurt
as
well. I did see Haskins moving around at halftime. You know, we mentioned he was standing around. Doesn't appear to be, you know, severely injured at the moment. See a couple of different Falcon quarterbacks moving around on the near sideline. Haskins is there. Alfred Robinson is there.
We know we've seen Alfred Robinson come in as a punt returner at one point in this contest. TJ Farr has been doing some punting lately, which included that 10-yard run that he was able to get a 1st down on a fake punt. Dylan Cosner also a quarterback, a freshman for this Falcon side as well.
They are continuing to tend to Dominic Medina at midfield.
You know, a couple of years ago, you know, in 2019, the last time we saw the Falcons, they only had 3 rostered quarterbacks on their roster that year, and then Haskins, who was a receiver, took some snaps as well and was listed as the backup quarterback. But they didn't have the depth then. Back then, though, they only had 50, 60 kids. Scott Sperone has done yeoman's work to bring in a lot of kids, you know, very young, but, you know, you're trying to build something. It takes a long time to build a strong program, you know, as the kids try to get the experience there.
It's not entirely, you know, we saw, you know, a lot of former Falcons here, but it's almost like a team that is just starting from scratch. You know, Fitchburg State needed a new look, needed a new direction. They needed, you know, a lot of new things, and, you know, they're starting that now. And obviously this season has been a struggle, to say the least, but there are some positive signs, and one positive sign just here in the short term, Dominic Medina getting up under his own power and getting back to the near sideline. We'll see if the Falcons decide to go for it or if they're just going to kick here. I think they're just bringing on the punting unit. They're not going to send their 4th string quarterback out for a do-or-die 4th and 3.
Although TJ Farr may very well be the 4th string quarterback, for all we know.
That is a fair point. We have seen him fake one already. Low snap. Farr gets the punt away. It is short. It's going to bounce, actually go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So Bridgewater State will take back over. 10:48 to play here in the 4th quarter. Comfortably ahead in this one.
The thought was, you know, I mentioned Alfred Robinson had come in earlier as a punt returner. On the sideline, he was watching that, tracking it, and he pulled that one in.
Well, always good to get practice. You never know. So we will see, you know, we will keep an eye on the quarterback position for Fitchburg State. It feels like a fair assumption to say that they will have the ball back at some point in this game. I believe this is a new quarterback. I believe this is Matthew Crisafulli, excuse me. And he hands off straight up the middle, dancing through tackles, spinning out of one. Finally brought down at about the 45-yard line is Keon Gilzine Tucker.
Crisafulli is a graduate student. He was a transfer. He's from North Kingstown, Rhode Island. I forget off the top of my head where he transferred from, but I think it was a Division I school. But I think it was one of those things that he was a bit low on the depth chart. Had a year of eligibility left, wanted to take use of it, while he's going for his Masters.
Gilzine Tucker on the first down carry. There's a flag down as he turns the corner. May have gotten a little illegal assistance in so doing. Michael Brown was the Falcon who pushed him out of bounds. But we will check the penalty. It is a hold against the Bears, so this one will come back. Christofoli did not have any statistics coming into this game, Dan.
If I've got no book on him.
Brandon Gaffaro guilty of the hold there.
The only other quarterback for the Bears who has seen playing time is Ramazana, who has one incompletion. I should also note Wyatt Schisler also had an incompletion. But that's mainly Ben Cahoon, as I mentioned. He came into this game with the most passing yards per game in the conference.
First down 17 for Bridgewater after the hold. Try a sweep to the far side. Pretty good play. Gets out across the initial line of scrimmage and a little bit more than that. It was Charles Piselli, the ball carrier, as we get to go a little bit deeper on our roster sheet for Bridgewater. Dan, I finally started looking at the too deep that you gave me, and it's useless now because they're too far deep.
Yeah, that's the problem that'll develop at times. It's useful when it's a close game, but once you get into the second half and once you get into lopsided territory, then the usefulness fades away.
Second down 9 now for Bridgewater. Handoff straight up the middle, bulldozing through tacklers, and brought down is Greg Dimitri. They will move the chains. That's a Bridgewater first down.
At least the Bears are happy to use their depth and give some of their other players a chance to go and play some football today. Get them some experience out on the gridiron.
I mean, it's pretty standard operating procedure when you're up, 42-0 going into the fourth quarter. It's time for the second and third stringers. Get them a full quarter of action. Let them run the offense. See what they can do. Bears send a man in motion here on first down. Christofoli going from the shotgun. Hands it off to Gilzine. Tries to turn the corner. Spins out of a tackle. Still on his feet. And he will finally be swarmed up. Keon Gilzine Tucker only got a couple of yards on that one.
Gilzine Tucker keeping the ball low to the ground, 5'5", 156. As J.J. Cummings will get the tackle. Just broke out of the grasp of Cam Monette.
Second and 8.
I think there was Tyler Farmer getting there as well for the Falcons, the first to arrive.
Christofoli wants to throw on second down. He had a receiver, tried to lead him with the pass, maybe led him a little bit too much. I believe he was trying to hit Christian Torres. Jinx. You owe me, are there still Gatorade Zeros in the cooler?
I think that was the last one that you gave to Jared.
I did give Jared the last one. Damn it. Dang it. Well, you owe me a bottle of water. Pay no attention to the fact that I have a bottle of water.
That will not melt.
Sure it will.
It's a bottle of ice.
It's a bottle of half-frozen water that's mostly a block of ice. Third down and 8. Christofoli throws to the far side. That pass is low and incomplete. Looked like he was going for Luamond Philippe. We did not find him. It'll be fourth down for Bridgewater, and they'll bring on the punting unit.
Tried to go to the air a couple of times, but these passes have just been short. Finding receivers that are open that are capable of pulling it in, it's just the ball's not getting there.
Fay on to punt. Like a lot of special teamers in D3, he punts and kicks. Trying to get the coffin corner, and that is executed very well. That punt is inside the 10-yard line. Have a day, Thomas Fay. 6 extra points and a perfect coffin corner kick. Everything that can go right for Bridgewater is going right for Bridgewater.
While we have a moment, we'll do a scoreboard for the rest of Falcon Athletics for today.
Do it.
Earlier today, the Falcon men's soccer team were taking on Bridgewater. Well, both of them were. The men were here. They fell to the Bears 3-1. The women were down at Swenson Field in Bridgewater, where Bridgewater took the victory by a score of 6-0. And in volleyball, the Falcons went to Milton, took on the Colonels of Curry, and fell in straight sets 25-18, 25-13, 25-22.
Not exactly a banner day for Fitchburg State Athletics, it must be said.
I would recommend nobody look at their records lately in anything else.
Trouble here on first down as the Falcons once again have a new quarterback. Believe this is Alfred Robinson taking snaps. He would be the 4th signal caller of the day for Fitchburg State.
Gain of 3.
So Robinson, just trying to get that handoff there, but of course immediately wrapped up. And there was on the play action.
2nd and 7.
It is a gain of 3 yards. It's Fredo Robinson, sophomore from Tracy, California.
2nd down 7. This time Robinson will keep it himself. He's got some good blocking. It's across the 20. That'll be enough to stop the clock, move the chains. Fredo's got himself a first down. Looking a little bit more like Sonny, or dare I say Michael. Come on, I had to get a Godfather joke.
Souza and Giuliani.
Maybe someday I'll watch that movie.
Combining for the Bridgewater hit.
You wound me, sir. The Godfather is a very good movie. The Godfather Part 2 is also a very good movie. The Godfather Part 3 is a movie.
So I knew that's where you were going to go with that.
Robinson keeps on first down, this time looking to go to the left side. Not much doing for him. He gains maybe a couple.
Gain of 3.
He was looking at Brian Vickers as an option there on a possible pitch out, but ultimately chose to keep it himself. As we mentioned, Fredo Robinson went to Merrill F. West High School out in California. Elijah Zaire McKnight was a teammate of his there. They're the same class. Although, as we mentioned, Zaire McKnight not playing today.
No, he's rocking the skinny jeans on the sideline, which is usually an indication that you're not playing football. 2nd down 7 for the Falcons. Robinson again tries to keep it himself. Bridgewater State this time all over him.
Got the handoff there, and then
there is a flag.
It was Trey Lowry who had the carry, and I think there was just enough extracurriculars that the officials just want to clamp down on this right now.
Want to discourage any further
After the
chippiness.
play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 94. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down. This is number 94's first unsportsmanlike
Ebenezer
conduct.
Ancoma guilty of the unsportsmanlike conduct. That'll be 15 yards and a Falcon first down.
Ancoma, a freshman, he is from Worcester, former Doherty Highlander.
You know, Dan, if the Falcons score on this drive, it could be said that Bridgewater's future is a horror story written by Ebenezer's crime.
Ah.
It was a long way to go, but it's 42-0. I felt like going a long way.
At this point, might as well be ambitious. What have you got to lose?
Exactly. 1st and 10 Falcons on 49. Robinson keeps it himself. He is tripped up just as he was hitting the hole. That had all the potential of a big play, but he was actually tripped up by Chris Giuliani. Giuliani had been blocked down to the ground, but he just reached out his left arm and tripped up the quarterback. Holds Robinson to a gain of just 2.
Basically what that looked like there, they've got Lowry in the backfield, as we mentioned. He's from Texas. One of 3 Texans on this roster for the Falcons.
Second down handoff goes to Trey Lowry. He's into the second level. Across midfield into Bear territory. Stop the clock, move the chains. That's good for a Fitchburg first down.
Lowry is tied for shortest player on the team. He's 5 feet 5 inches tall. Jacob Figueredo, who wears 48, also that same height. and keeping the ball low to the ground. And really, that time was just a matter of finding a big hole to run through. And not too many times have we had the opportunity to say that he's into the second level.
1st and 10 Falcons from the Bear 48, 4:45 to play in this one. Lowry gets the carry. No, excuse me, Robinson kept it himself. Gets across the 45-yard line. That was a very good play fake, Dan. Fooled me. It must have been good. It fooled me.
Gave himself a lot of time with the blocking to find a hole to get a few yards from.
2nd and 6.
It's a gain of 4 for Robinson. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. This time they run the pitch to the near side, try to turn the corner. Following blocks, diving forward and then falling on at about the 36-yard line. Tiago Palma gets the 1st down. Fitchburg's offense is on the move.
They've had a few drives today where they've been able to string plays together. This time the pitch out to Palma.
You know, it's all about just, get a positive play, and then maybe you can break one for, 8, 10, 15 yards. 1st and 10 Falcons now from the 37-yard line of the Bears. Robinson has it, and whistles kill the play. This was looking like a possible big gainer, but maybe Fitchburg committed some illegalities in so doing. It's usually not against the defense if they're going to blow it dead right at the snap.
Full start. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Gabe Mangrum guilty of jumping early.
So it is indeed a false start against Fitchburg.
I didn't see it.
I couldn't help.
1st and 15.
1st and 15 now for Fitchburg State. They need to get to Bridgewater's 27 to move the chains.
I'll describe that as the type of call I would not have expected to see in a 42-0 game.
Trey Lowry gets the carry straight up the middle. He gains a couple.
As we alluded to earlier in the broadcast, I did once work on the chain crew during the 2013 season. There was a game in which I remember the headlinesman saying to a player, "You're 2 yards offside on that play, but I let it go because you guys are losing by so much."
Ooh. It's a very harsh thing to say to a player.
It is. It's one of those, it was the 4th quarter, it was late. If calling a penalty is going to keep everybody there for another minute or so, that one just wasn't worth it.
Fredo Robinson gets back across the original line of scrimmage, across the 35-yard line even. We'll give him about, 6 or 7 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and, 6 or 7 yards. It's amazing how that works out.
Gets half of it there. If he gets the other half on 3rd down, I would like that.
Just about at the 2-minute mark here to play. Something tells me neither team is going to be terribly interested in taking their timeouts, but maybe Fitchburg State wants to practice their 2-minute drill. Who knows? Right now they face 3rd down and 6. Play fake. Robinson wants to keep it himself. He ducks out of 3 tackles. Fredo Robinson only picked up 5 yards there, but Dan, by all rights, he should have lost 2. That was a great play by Fredo Robinson.
He's got tremendous footwork there. Look how he dekes out the defender there in Anthony Pimental.
Made 3 different players miss just in getting something positive out of that one. Now Fitchburg State faces 4th and 1.5, and they will go for it because, honestly, why the heck not? Try to get it straight up the middle. They will indeed. Out to the 21-yard line rather, goes Trey Lowry. That will be good enough to move the chains. And I think Fitchburg will, keep running their offense and try to score, but they're not going to go desperation mode here. If the clock happens to run out, well, the clock happens to run out.
We have not seen Robinson try to throw yet.
You called it, Dan. Robinson throws to the left side. Jump ball for the end zone. Tipped and incomplete. Double coverage there.
Incomplete.
He was trying to hit Gabe Mangrum. Do it again, Dan. Say that they haven't scored a touchdown today.
As they throw to the left side, you know, just double covered at the very end and got his hands on the football, just couldn't keep the grasp in. He probably would have landed out of bounds anyway. But the Falcons, 31 seconds left. They've got 3 plays to get 10 yards, 21 yards from goal. They have not scored a touchdown since D. Jones's pick 6 in the Worcester State game 2 weeks ago. Their first touchdown in a fortnight, they can feel it, but they really would love to come away with at least that.
Now on second down, Robinson runs the option to the near side. He wants to throw, and he will just chuck it out of bounds.
Pass ball's incomplete.
I think that was designed as kind of a triple quarterback option. He can keep it himself, he can pitch it back, or there are receivers downfield. None of those developed well for Robinson, so he just kind of, chucked it out of bounds near enough to the line of scrimmage and somebody that the officials didn't feel like getting him for intentional grounding. But it will now be third down as the Falcons try to get that elusive home touchdown. They have not yet scored here at Elliott Field this season. Play fake, Robinson keeps himself, rolls to the right. This time he blows a tire and trips up. He's brought down at about the 18-yard line. And I think if Fitchburg is gonna run a fourth down play, they're gonna have to call timeout.
But they're gonna try to get to the snap quickly.
Fitchburg State hurries up to the line. They will get it off. Robinson back to pass here on fourth down. This is the final play of the game. He's got to get rid of it. He's under pressure. He's just going to run with it. Across the 15 to the 10, and he is speared down at the 9-yard line. He gets the first down, but time expires. That will be the end of this game. 42-0 is the final. Bridgewater State with a dominant victory over a Fitchburg program, Dan, that just can't keep their offense on the field. They can't keep their offensive players on the field. A number of injuries, especially at the quarterback position today for Fitchburg State in what was a very frustrating performance here at homecoming.
They got a lot of participation out of their quarterbacks today. I mean, at first, it was playing other positions, but later it was because the quarterbacks had to actually take snaps and play. Ultimately, 4 Falcon quarterbacks out of necessity needing to take snaps. A lot of injuries. Wasn't cramping this time. I mean, we've had a lot of high school games with cramping because we've had humid Friday nights, but today, beautiful weather, beautiful time for a football game, but Bridgewater, the better team from the very beginning, and, just from the first play of the game, the kickoff that was recovered by the Bears.
It started poorly and it continued worse, basically, is the way you could sum that up. Again, 42-0 the final. As we await the final official statistics, we will thank one more time all of the wonderful businesses who help make this and every FATV production. Our remote productions are underwritten by Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, UMass Memorial Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Unitil, Minuteman Press, and the Sentinel and Enterprise. You can see them on screen there. Thank you so much to them.
And so we'll have the final stats. James Cahoon for the Bears, 13 for 20, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Adam Couch, 15 carries, 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. William Pointer, 5 for 35 and a touchdown on the ground as well. Kyle Torres, 2 for 66, both touchdowns. TJ Hairston, 4 for 45 and a touchdown. For the Falcons, 4 different quarterbacks throwing the football, 4 completions combined on 12 attempts for 28 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions at least. Leading running back on the day, the most yards, it was actually Fredo Robinson, who finished with 46 yards on that drive.
I would say, Dan, I was really impressed with what Robinson was able to do. I mean, obviously, as a fourth-string quarterback, this deep into what is a blowout loss, you have to temper your enthusiasm. You have to take it with a grain of salt. But honestly, I think the Falcons have the potential to have something from the quarterback position going forward. They've got a few guys there who have the potential. Obviously, the injury situation being what it is, we want to check up on the health of all of the Falcon quarterbacks, see who's, healthy and ready to go going forward for the rest of the season. But, there is something there. There are some positive signs. it's a difficult time right now for Fitchburg State University football, but it is not absolutely hopeless going forward.
And I guess going over the numbers a little more, Frank Sims 11 carries, 27 yards. Jazari Salim 6 for 24. Haskins was 8 for 20 before leaving with injury. Ben Palizet was 4 for 20 on the ground, 2 catches for 15. Trey Lowry had 4 carries for 18 yards as well. Dominic Medina, a couple of those wrap up in the backfields hurt his numbers a little bit. 13 carries for 11 yards. And through the air, Palizet 2 for 15. Jordan Dickerson 1 for 10. Matthew Gire 1 for 3. Final number of offensive yards, it was 313 for Bridgewater, 207 for Fitchburg, and there were just 2 turnovers in this contest.
Yeah, not that many turnovers. There were a fair number of penalties and just the officials making their presence felt, that sort of thing. But, it wasn't a terribly sloppy game. It wasn't terribly undisciplined. There was the one targeting foul that resulted in a player being ejected. But really, it was a well-played football game. It was just, Bridgewater State is in one position. Fitchburg State is in another position. You kind of figured going in, Bridgewater State was going to win this game, possibly by a lot. Turned out Bridgewater State won this game by a lot.
It wasn't a terrible surprise. Bridgewater is looking very solid. They look like they could be one of the biggest contenders to win the MASCAC this season. And obviously next week, another one of those contenders coming to Elliott Field, Framingham State coming to town, the defending MASCAC champions. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Tim Foley, who was on assignment this week. We hope to see him later down the road.
Absolutely hope to see more of Tim Foley, but before we get out of here, we want to thank one more time the fantastic crew here at FATV who helped make this broadcast possible. Our director today is Jared Roberts. Audio and graphics and technical management and just about everything else was performed by Travis Falk. Kevin Newey handled replay duties today. Our camera operators were Matt Murdoka, Matt Sinclair, and the debuting Alyssa Fields and Kayla Jorgensen. Thank you so much to all of them, and thank you all to you for watching. Dan Bullock, your final thoughts before we say goodbye.
Obviously, the Falcons would have loved to have broken out that scoring drought. It's going to have to wait another week. I mean, there were some positives that we saw in this contest, but really, I think the biggest concern is we want to see the health of the quarterbacks and the players who got hurt in today's game and just hope they're all right for the future.
Absolutely. We wish those guys all the best in getting back on the field, getting back, just getting back into good condition, and we hope to see as many of them as possible next week here at Elliott Field. Framingham State coming on to take on the Green and Gold. That will be a 3 o'clock kickoff right here on FATV. But until then, for Dan Bullock, I'm John Gugerty saying thank you folks so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on FATV.